Hello and welcome everyone to episode 208 of One Piece at a Time, the One Piece read through podcast where we read and discuss 5 chapters of the One Piece manga each and every week. I'm your host, Derrick, and I'm joined by my wonderful co-host and freelance letterer, Brandon Bovia. And Brandon, I usually let you sort of introduce yourself, have your own thing. Not this time. No, there's just too much happening. Okay, my God.
I was waiting for this week so badly. Now, I think obviously we still have a lot of the flashback left, but you know why people love this flashback so much.
Oh God, yeah. And it's something that should have been obvious, but I didn't think Oda would go there because he tends to avoid this era so much and just tease it for so long. So to have him finally show most of Roger's journey is insane. And I don't think I've ever had a set of 5 chapters where I was consistently just getting chills. Hair raising up on my arm reading some of this stuff. Oh my God. Just those type of moments chills. Consistently.
Just straight up, 966 and 967 are 2 of my favorite chapters in the whole series. So I've read them quite a few times. I get chills every time I read them. It is literally just if you've been following One Piece for any number of years, right? This is sort of the stuff that you would think that you would never get shown.
And honestly, it's probably no way to make it happen, but I can imagine. Just imagine if 966 and 967 had been saved to be 999 and 1000.
That would also be nuts.
What an amazing set. So close that impossible to do. Impossible. I think, with the pacing.
The timing wouldn't have worked. That makes me wonder if that was maybe the plan at some point, but it just kind of didn't quite work out that way. I still think, when we get there, chapter 1000 it's also great. It hits, but for very different reasons. But I think Oda planned that out as well as he could have. I think once we get there.
Yeah, it's really all you could do because you don't want it to feel like you're just spinning your wheels. It kills the pacing. You got to keep moving.
Yeah, exactly.
So, speaking of spinning the wheels, let's not do that and just get right into it.
Let's do it.
There's so much to talk about. So, chapter 966, Roger and Whitebeard. And we have a complication with all these kissing fools running around Dressrosa. The Marines just arrested Chiffon. Oh, no.
Yeah, oh, no. While she's getting a haircut. Also, we've seen the guy on the far right before, haven't we?
I don't know. The designs are definitely distinct, but I don't know if I've outright recognized them. And there's a Marine girl in a dress in the background.
Yeah,
you can see the seagull there.
I feel like I should recognize her too. I've really seen her before. I don't know. That's one thing I didn't remember to look up.
There's some sort of background there or something I don't know. But either way, a bit of a complication here, which is it's sort of the fun part of these chapter
the cover stories.
Yeah, cover stories. But let's get into the chapter itself as Oden does what Oden does when it comes to a new island, and he just rushes onto the island, and Roger's just smiles. The one I've heard about.
Right. And, normally they're afraid, and now it's the opposite. And the Whitebeard pirates wait. Commander Oden's just these are different. The Roger pirates are bad news. You don't want to rush just head in.
He just starts tearing through them, and the regular guys are like, "Oh, geez, he is mighty." And this shot of Rayleigh, and I don't know, I don't think we've met Axe Guy before.
No, his name is Gabon, as we see here in the same panel.
Oh, okay, yeah, Gabon, yeah. I don't think we've seen him before, which is funny because there's certain members of Roger's crew we definitely recognize, but Gabon is a new one, which I wonder if we'll run into him at some point.
I'm going to say something really mean. He has been on screen before in the manga.
Oh, damn it.
In a way that you wouldn't know, and I would not have known until somewhat recently.
Oh, God. I love that there's still more members of Roger's crew to meet as we go through this world.
And I love that the way they're like, all right, let's just nip this in the bud, Rayleigh. And of course, Roger's like, I don't want to get you guys to get hurt. He's like, you just want to fight him.
We were talking a little bit about this before the started recording, and Roger is essentially Ace in looks, Luffy in personality.
Yeah, very much so, and definitely both when it comes to strength, because this is his greeting. He says, "Hey there, samurai," and hits him just with a blast of haki called Divine Departure. Just one swing of Roger's sword, and Oden goes flying through several trees.
Mm-hmm. He is gone, and I love how it's kind of played for jokes because he crashes into this giant tree. And Oden just sort of runs back. He's like, "Okay, what was that? I need to have a word with you." It's like I don't even care about the fight. It's like, what was that? I need to see what's all going on here.
Yeah, what did you do even?
And then to have the wind up of Whitebeard coming in, Roger charging up, and just this clash of haki between their two swords, their two weapons. And Oden being like, "Oh God, they're clashing and they're not even touching. It's the sheer aura of their haki that is
one of the coolest scenes."
What a way to emphasize that these are the two strongest men in the world.
Yeah, no, like 10 chapters ago, it was like these two have the highest bounties, in recorded history, and we are seeing them basically greet each other, right? Like, this is how they say hello, is just their haki is so strong, they're like repelling forces like magnets. And I love their grins with like the haki lightning coming off. Like, they're bros.
Oh yeah, totally.
They're rivals, but they're definitely homies.
And what a great idea to have Oden be this perspective here of like, they're not even touching that. He's impressed when he's been such a monster this entire time.
Yes, exactly. It's Oden learning that the world is so much wider than he thought it was.
And he's been traveling for 3 years, so that's impressive.
Yeah. I also love that just that one panel of like the haki blaster so strong, and you see the Moby Dick almost like tip over. They're like, the ship.
And after that clash, it's just like, you seem well, Roger. How many years has it been, Newgate? So they both say drop your valuables and leave, and they're just laughing. And we got Roger's official laugh. Wah ha 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 ha. It's kind of a prototypical laugh. And then we see at the clash, it's like, let's get them and take everything they've got. And it's full-on clash between the Roger and Whitebeard pirates that lasts for 3 days and 3 nights in this small island. How it's still standing, I have no idea.
And then we cut to day 4, and they're buddy. They're like, "Hey, I like this shirt. Where'd you get it?" Like, it's gotta be an evening exchange. You're taking too much. And they're trading booze with each other. They're giving each other jerky. I love we have Rayleigh off on the side. We're like, the attempt to pillage each other has become a gift exchange.
It's one of those things, you just had to get out that aggression. That's just that's our love language. So
yes, very much so.
It's time for the exchanging of gifts. And it's funny to see the next generation sort of look on, because we have Blackbeard here. It's like, are they apprentices? Like, and Marco and Jozu just bandaged up, and he's like, yeah, they've been around for ages, and it's like, they don't look very tough, and then yet they've got the attitude of grown men. So it's really funny to see Blackbeard staring down Shanks and Buggy.
Knowing that Buggy was present for so much of this in context of where he is now is so funny to me. Like, it feels like kind of everybody else who's here, Teach, Marco, Jozu, like they all kind of became really big names. Buggy, he became a businessman.
Buggy's a late bloomer. He's finally taken. To be fair, it's actually kind of impressive he did not use Roger's name to like boost his own.
That is true.
The own thing. It wasn't until it was sort of discovered, and he's like, oh, I can use this because people are following me all of a sudden. It's an interesting tack for Buggy. It's also like, how did he not get any stronger?
Yeah, that's also true.
Oh, Buggy.
Hey man, some people peak when they're 8. Okay,
I guess so. But they have a little conversation between the two of them, because they look at Blackbeard and be like, you see that guy wearing the hat? Yeah. I heard he didn't sleep a wink during the ceasefire last night or the night before. Why not? They say he's never slept in his life. Is that even possible? Lucky guy. I bet his life has been twice as fun. That's not the point. Don't you get it? He's a monster.
So,
and you have some things to say about that. It's like, it's an interesting aspect already of Blackbeard. It's like, what is up with Blackbeard?
Yeah. Like, we already know. Well, and I have stuff to say on this because this is all just like speculation and connecting the dots and all that fun stuff. But it is like, geez, where do I even start with this? Right? It's like the idea that Blackbeard has never slept before. I feel like his big line, that first exchange that he has with Luffy and Jaya, where he's like, like people's dreams don't ever end. I feel like that basically got completely retextualized just within this one conversation.
Potentially, just because it's one of those things I could see it being recontextualized because, well, he doesn't dream, so you'd think he would be saying it never ends, or unless he considers this world a dream.
No, to be a dream. That could also be it.
Yeah, like this whole world itself is just a dream to him. But if it is the fact that he never sleeps, then yeah, it's so odd.
Yeah, I kind of think just like to throw it out, I kind of feel like he might be like Jekyll and hiding it. That might be the thing, and that might be the reason why his body can sustain 2 devil fruits. Is sort of the idea that maybe he does sort of technically sleep, but that like it's tricky because there's not really been any indication that he has like a split personality or anything like that.
Not really.
Up to this point, all we really knew that like Blackbeard's body, I think it was Marco who was like, yes, the body's weird. And that was that at some point during Marineford, I think. And just between that, and it's like, I don't know. It's just another one of those little like just little nuggets of information. We definitely don't have enough to get the full story yet, but they're doing something. And then of course there's also that the SPS, right, where they showed all of the warlords as children. And that was in volume 63. I looked that up, and we saw a young Blackbeard just like crying in the middle of the night with the moon out. And so now we kind of a little bit of a better
It's like,
idea
is he crying because he can't sleep? It's like, what is up with that, Oda?
Yeah.
The one part of your research that you did from chapter 134, the thing that you found from 134 is the one that got me. Is like, by the way, did you know that people who live in snow countries don't sleep? Well, why not? Well, if they fall asleep, they'll die. It's like, wait, didn't they pick them up in the snow country? It's like, what the hell?
I actually don't remember. Wait,
I can't remember what kind of island.
I thought it was like a port town.
It was more of a port town, but I don't know. It was like
it could have been like a winter island or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe if he is from a winter island or a specific winter island, I don't know. You don't know what Oda's really playing with. And
here. For context, this was a conversation between Luffy and Sanji back on Drum Island.
Yeah,
they're talking about that.
Where Luffy's just
going back to that chapter was that line, that exchange is like a complete non sequitur.
Yeah, it's just like
what? Why did he put that there?
Yeah, I don't. I just round out the personalities, I guess, or something to that degree. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Blackbeard continues to be just a complete mystery.
Yeah, a real black hole, if you will.
Indeed. Oh gosh, but of course, there's one other group of men that are talking here. It's Whitebeard, Roger, and Oden are the 3 that are talking specifically. Because Roger's been interested in Oden for quite some time, and he learns that Oden can read poneglyphs, and he's like, yeah, but how do you possess this text? This is the secret cipher of the Kozuki clan of Wano, passed down strictly from generation to generation. And Roger goes into it. So it all started 13 years ago when we landed at the destination of the final log pose, where no one had ever reached before, a place called the Lodestar Island, which I was like, wait, that's not right. That's supposed to be Rafter.
Right.
Reading this. Like, and he says, but when we disembarked, getting at what we might find, we realized that it was not the final island. The needles of the log pose went haywire, refusing to point out a new destination. But there is one more island, and only by going there will the unprecedented circumnavigation of the globe be complete. and it's like, it's to get you excited just hearing all this. And
the interesting thing to me is that, like, Roger basically did the circumnavigation of the globe minus the final island, only to basically be like, I gotta do it again.
Yeah, he did it. He pulled it off. He conquered the Grand Line, at least what was known. Now he's going after the unknown because he's just that ambitious.
I love this sequence because it really does feel like he's almost obsessed, right? Like he's breaking the way that he's like breaking it down. You know, like he's got the road poneglyphs. He's like, it's the 4 red stones, you know, that point the way to the island. But the poneglyphs are the world government, you know, has long forbidden anybody to read. It's like, you thought they were just cultural relics. I think, again, they're the map we need. And I love the enthusiasm in which he's kind of telling the story to Roger and Whitebeard. Like, it is kind of like it's like the like Charlie Day with the the conspiracy court board.
I just realized something, because we were saying like he has the personality of Luffy. That's not entirely true. He has the composure of Ace, but the joy of Luffy, I'd say, is the best.
Yeah, I think that we're gonna see that like more and more. But like when he gets that like sense of adventure in him, it's just so Luffy, right? It's just like him.
But he is far more intelligent than Luffy. He's older
yes,
as well.
True.
But
yeah, he's also, you know, hey, he's a navigator, right? Like he's seeing all this. He's got all this information. He's putting it together. He's processing information.
And he goes on to say, the stories say that a vast treasure awaits on the final island, and the government says, don't go there. That only makes the stories about treasure more believable. If we can get there, we'll be the greatest pirate crew in the world in both name and fact. And that's when we end with, that's right. And then I'll be, and we don't hear it. We just get a from Oden and Whitebeard, which I've noticed was similar, but you compared it directly as just a complete
1-to-1, basically
1-to-1 to Luffy declaring his dream to Ace and Sabo as kids.
Yeah, and we talked about this. I remembered because it's like, you would assume the assumption, especially because that was chapter. It was like right before the time skip. It was 585, I think, where he was like, you know, like if you're reading that in context for the first time, it's like obviously Luffy means that he's going to become king of the pirates, right? And it's like, well, if that were the case, you know, he said that on, you know, like loudly and proudly so many times. There's no real need to kind of hide that, especially with the kind of reaction that Ace and Sabo have. And so to see kind of like the framing and the paneling is almost like is literally the exact same. And the way that, you know, like upon hearing this, you know, Whitebeard is like, he's laughing. He's like, are you a little boy? Like, what is this? And, you know, if you think, even if the cutaway with Luffy was to imply that he would be king of the pirates, why would Roger say that? Because as we'll kind of see, like that's kind of not really his concern. Is the title really? The
title is just something that was awarded him. He didn't care about that at all.
So what does it say? Like what is Roger trying to get out of all this? And the way that, you know, he laughs it off, and Oden is like, I was frozen stiff for the second time today. I was stunned. Who was this man?
I have a prediction. I'm gonna say what he's saying here, and probably what Luffy said back there, is I'll be truly free. Is the most pure form of freedom in this world, and I think that's what they both want.
Yeah,
nothing can hold me back. I have conquered this world.
Yeah, I think I have a little more to say on this, but I feel like I have to wait just a little bit longer before I get into specifics. We don't know what either of their dreams are at this point, which is what makes the speculation about it so much fun, and really kind of the reactions to the people who hear it. It is also just, you know,
the fact that it's sort of an unimaginable dream, or maybe it's just such a simple dream.
Yeah. I think that the way that Whitebeard calls him a little boy, like it has to be something that's just like, I don't know, kind of like naively straightforward. You know, something so simple that you, like, an adult would never think to say something like that. So I do think that if not like freedom, I feel like it has to be something on that kind of level of like, I will, you know, something that will be like a means to an end, you know. in that way. So again, I feel like just through these like past couple of conversations, there's so many layers to the dialogue and what all the what the characters mean and what do they say when they mean such and such. It's crazy.
So many clues placed, so many things building off one another, and it's time to reach the point because we talked in learning about Oden. We knew that he was with Whitebeard's crew and he was also with Roger's crew, and it didn't really click with me. It's like, how does that happen? And this is how. Well, here's how it happened. Roger says, "I want to borrow Oden for 1 year. It's the last thing I'll ever ask, but with him, I'm certain I can reach that final island." And Oden's like, "Wait, don't I get a say in this?" And and Roger is straight up bowing before Whitebeard as low as possible, just being like, "I need this." And same to Oden. It's like, "Please come along on my travels. Just 1 year." And Oden's like, "Just lift yourself up. Don't embarrass yourself." It's like, this is crazy. And Whitebeard is furious. It's like, "Are you trying to steal my family from me?" Because, well, that's Whitebeard's whole thing.
Yeah, yeah. Which is also funny because like 3 chapters he was like, "Drown, I don't care."
But this has also been 3 years now, so
yeah.
And Oden hears this. He's like, "Nope, my blood cried out to me. It asked, why can the Kozuki clan read these letters? Why have I come across Roger at this moment in time? Before I knew it, the words were leaving my mouth on their own. I want to go with them. Will you let me?" And then we get our final instance of, "Ugh, you don't seem to like
just
that."
the cringe face.
And of course, it ends with, "Of course I don't. You and I are practically brothers." It's like, it's only 1 year.
Well, we kind of cut a little bit. The time passes, and it's like, okay, he's leaving. That's it. Yeah. they have decided, and it's we see Izo and Dogstorm and Cat Viper are staying. Like, we like the ship. Well, we're gonna wait for you to return to it. And I love this line from Oden where he's like, "You have that right. You're fully fledged pirates now. We should all be free to choose."
I like how Izo is just adapted to the Whitebeard pirates that much.
Right, like that easily, right? Because he was also like, "How dare you, Whitebeard? That's my lord."
You got Marco so familiar with him having his arm draped across his shoulders.
Yeah.
It's good. And Whitebeard is like, "Aren't you going to see him off?"
Whitebeard's still seething. He's pissed.
But I love this way they care. It's like, Roger left behind all the cargo he had on board as thanks, and the stuff's worth a fortune. And look at all the food. It's like, no, give him back the food. Don't you dare let Oden's family go hungry. He's like, so obviously cares.
God, that's just good dads all around.
So off they go. They look forward to the stories when they get back. And so begins the second act of Oden's life as a pirate. A new adventure. White Kichi was a great man, but Roger too was off the charts. I am a lucky fellow. I just noticed the sail for Rogers as well. It's Gold D Roger.
Yes, of course.
He's very specific about that. And just Roger talking about, here's a line that got me very curious. "I haven't spent time with a baby in ages." Momonosuke and Hiyori, eh? Like, he's holding Hiyori, just like sort of delighted by it. It's like, Is Ace his only kid, or does he have another kid? Because Ace is not born at this point.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and the way Rayleigh says reminds me of the old days. I actually do know what they're referring to here, but I'm not gonna say anything.
Dang it! That was my other thought. I was like, wait, Does Roger have another kid? What the?
Oh, I guess I shouldn't say that with like 100% certainty, but like I think I can infer what they're talking about. Is maybe the better way to put it.
But then they discovered that there's some stowaways because Dogstorm and Cat Viper decided to come along. So it's like, we just have the most fun watching you on your travels. So they're like, they could have come along freely. They just decided to stow away.
Yeah, I love that one little cut. Like, hey, the dog and cat are gone too. They're just like, this furry little.
I love also just how it's the same thing as Whitebeard's crew. It's like they were standoffish. They didn't. It was like, we don't like you. The captain only needs you for your knowledge. Got that? Don't assume we're going to accept you as one of us. And cut to the first town. A port town. Are there ingredients? And it's like, pirates are attacking. Wait, don't attack these civilians. The captain's going to kill you. Wait, he stole my radishes. He stole my eggs. It's like, it's just wait. what? It's just a lawless area. Oh, get on with it then. I wonder if that was like Jaya or something like that.
I think he was stealing ingredients to make Oden.
He was. Yeah. So he makes the Oden, and that's all he needs. He makes Oden, and everybody loves him.
I love that shot of Oden and Roger just like arms crossed, booze mugs just lifted in the air. They're just all partying, having a good time. And the way that, his catchphrase, he's like, I am Oden and I was born to boil. And it's just like immediately they love him.
Yep. That's all it took. Oh, gosh. But that's when we hear something incredible from Crocus. Because why is he so desperate to have Oden for a year? Because he only has a year to live. That's it. That's when this whatever disease he has will take him. So he's like, I got to make my time count. And God, just the way we end things off while doing the upstream. I forget the official name, but
the knock upstream.
That's it. They go to Skypia, and Oden's just like, the world is vast, even bigger than before. Not even the gods would believe that people live in the sky. And then they find the friggin' bell all the way up here. All the gold. Of course, Buggy wants to take it. I was like, you can come back and get it when you're Captain Buggy. Is like, I don't have time for this now. I was like, oh, not even a piece. And he just says, it was easy to find this stone. It's just packed full of strong voices. It's a story of great power, isn't it? It's like, again, there's certain voices Roger can hear. And I don't know what that is because he's hearing it. It seems to be hearing it specifically from the poneglyph.
Yes.
So,
all I will say is that it's just sort of reinforcing information that we already knew. And actually, this is a great time to talk about it because into this scene where he's looking at the poneglyph, next to the bell. And that's how we learn that Oden is the one who tells him that the message speaks of a weapon named Poseidon. And then we get the, carve a message for me. I hereby guide this document to its end. And it's just like that. Well done, Oden.
How we get the explanation there. He's like,
yes,
Roger couldn't read it, but he had somebody that could, and he was able to have him make the message himself. So.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. What I was going to mention is when we got that lore dump from Rayleigh way back in Sabaody. And that was when he was like, we couldn't read the poneglyphs. Like it was just that, Roger had the ability to read, or he had the ability to hear the voice of all things. And we didn't really know what to do with that information back then. And Big Mom actually reiterated that because in Whole Cake, that's how she mentioned, that's how Roger got her poneglyph.
Oh yes. Which we do get a little mention here.
A little nod to it. Yeah, so there's definitely like, as we'll kind of see, especially later, it definitely feels kind of like, I feel like connected to this idea of like being able to sort of like sense the feelings of animals almost, right? Like with we saw Luffy and Momonosuke do that like on Zou and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, interesting. Also,
yeah, but the idea that
a little bit of importance to Skypia again.
yeah, Skypia continuing to be more and more important. The idea that I love that we basically got Roger saying like, oh yeah, I got it. I was here. we understood that the message, that Poseidon, is.
Yeah. So many little moments that like we've heard about leading up to this now getting kind of shown off.
Yeah. A little more full context for it, which is like, that is the real juicy stuff, I think, with this section of Oden's life as a pirate is just like kind of seeing on screen all the stuff that had just been kind of alluded to in the past.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. We do have an SBS. First up is Nami likes fruit in general. Mikan fruits in particular, but given how oranges are similar to them, both being citrus fruits, does she like them as much? But with that said, I wonder if in the end she just has a special emotional attachment to the Mikan. Please tell me. I'm guessing that's a tangerine.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So, don't know. This freaking, I swear to God.
Yep.
It's like, and Oda just goes, Nami's favorite food is related to her upbringing. You can see it in the Arlong arc depicted in volumes 7 through 10 of the physical release. But basically, Nami grew up on a tangerine farm, so they're a type of food that brings back memories of her late mother. That's why even among all fruits, she loves tangerines in particular. So thank you for the postcard. And it's like, it seems like such a simple question for something that's been going on for so long, but you have to remember that like, it's so early on that new readers are like, why is this?
and especially if you're like a reader who started reading in the magazine and maybe didn't go all the way back to the early issues. I could see that being like well, I'll ask about this. It's a nice refresher for people.
Yeah.
This was, after all, like 20 years ago by this point.
Pretty much. Then we have, next up is Sonadachi. I request you to forfeit your Nami figurine collection to me. This is from Captain Nobuo. And Oda goes, hey, you there, who are you talking to? And more importantly, hold your urges. Just when we were talking about something wholesome. And at this point, I refuse to ever feature Sonata here again. So this person's claiming that he's Sonadachi. Also, the SPS makes a point to feature a certain figure of Nami from the collection to sort of emphasize the point. It's in her ninja outfit. So, yeah.
I see. Yes.
Yep. And of course, he said, I'm never going to feature Sonata here again. Next one. Please give me the used towels Nami used at the bathhouse. Sonadachi. Get the heck out of my SPS. Go home, Sonata, please. Oda just being weird again.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. The final question is, sorry for the weird question, but being the only female among the 9 Reds scabbards, so the Akazaya 9.
The Akazaya 9, yeah.
Yes. Does Kiku bathe separately or on her own? And Oda says, not at all. She bathes together with everyone else. Ever since she was a child, she's always been very social. So there you go.
Mixed bathing is a thing,
That is true. They did show that. So there's a weird SBS, but that's to be expected.
Little privacy invading, but it wouldn't be the SBS without it.
Yeah, that's just how it is. Oh gosh. So yeah, let's continue on to chapter 967, Roger's Adventure. And we have a color spread of people I don't recognize.
I actually looked this up because I knew I would forget.
I was actually in the middle of looking up, like, what is this all about?
Yeah, this is a boy band called Arashia Reborn. And specifically, they had like a music video kind of in collaboration with One Piece that I just sent that to you so you could take a look at it later. And it's all like animated in the style of the One Piece anime, kind of cut in between, shots of the band and stuff like that. Wow. It's interesting. The way Oda draws these guys is definitely.
Yeah, I just looked up what they actually look like, and that's an interesting interpretation.
Yeah, most definitely. They've all got just real big heads.
Yeah, real weird faces and teeth and whatnot. I don't know.
Also, maybe more importantly, at least for me, this is actually the first color spread with Jinbei as a part of the Straw Hats.
Yes, I noticed that as well, and that's pretty great to have. Like, hey, we have our full crew finally.
Where is he?
Where
Come back,
is he?
Jinbei.
That is a
we miss you.
Good question. Oh God. But into the chapter itself, time to go to Water 7.
Yeah. Not only that, the narration with the help of Gonfor atop the clouds, we descended safely back to the sea below. And he even mentioned that in the Skypia arc that he met Roger. So
that is true.
There it is. And we have
the callback to the argument between these two from the very beginning, which is colder, the North Pole or the South Pole. And
yeah. Well, which apparently that argument happened at Water 7. And then I love the consistency that we even have Rayleigh bonk them both. Be like, yeah, cut that out.
And then Rogers, just for some reason, just now finds out that the red ones are in the two of the red poneglyphs are in Wano, and of course in
Zo.
And it's like and they're like, oh, they're just red ones. I was like, that's the kind I need most. Why didn't you say something? It's like they didn't want to go home.
I love just throughout this whole chapter, like I feel like this is when we really get like the silly side to Roger's personality, just like the real like adventurous, fun loving. Like I love how comedic he is. Like I feel like we're really putting in that goofiness and just kind of that connection to Luffy.
And then we find out the first red poneglyph he got was the sheet, the one that he stole from Big Mom, and he has a hunch where the other one is. So
which is
good to go there.
Don't know what that one is.
No, don't know what that. That's I guess that's the last one we need to find with us. So yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
the first one. The second one
that
Roger gets is the last one everybody else is getting. It seems.
Yeah.
God, it's. I love how this explains how Big Mom and Kaido both have red poneglyphs.
Yes.
Well, not red. How Big Mom got the red poneglyph. The fact that she had one already, and then Kaido, of course, later.
Yeah.
But it's like he's fired up. He's like, "Where's it going to guide me?" And we get a reunion between Roger and Tom.
Yes, who of course built his ship. Not only that, we see a young iceberg. We see grainy Kokoro, and even Frankie.
I was actually kind of shocked to see young Frankie. It's like, he's old enough for that.
Yeah.
And Oden was like, "Hey, you want to come aboard our ship?" I was like, I don't want to be a pirate. I just got abandoned by them. I was like, "Oh, what? You got abandoned? What a laugh!"
He laughs at him.
What the hell, Oden?
Man, wow. Frankie could have lived a completely different life. But yeah, I love this chapter for all of the little, like, it really is. It feels like Roger is like doing like a speed run version of Luffy's journey. So
much so because we just have this next page, which is just them singing Binks's Brew as we're going across the ocean, and Odin's hanging out with his family, and they're running away from these crazy giant elephants. They see the bridge that was being built that Robin ended up on when they all got separated.
I think that island with the volcano, I think that might be where Luffy trained.
Oh, you might be right.
If they're all kind of in the same general location going from Water 7, presumably, passing by wherever Thriller Bark would have been at, and then kind of in the general area of Sabaody, right? And it makes sense that, I think this is Tequila Wolf. I don't know how I remembered that. I guess it would make sense that, that they all got separated and pushed away by Kuma, that it would have been relatively nearby.
And then they get to Sabaody. Head down to Fishman Island, which I like how Oden notes. Went there with White Kichi too, which he's protector of. Whitebeard's protector of Fishman Island. So down they go, and of course, as they're down there, Roger's like, "Hey, Rayleigh, do you hear that voice?" And like, "I don't hear anything." And well, who's talking? Who's talking down in the depths? And Oden's like, "I hear it too." You do? Mm-hmm. And I love how Momo was able to hear stuff from Zoe. Along with Luffy, so you got that connection there. It's like, how are they able to hear the voices of these Neptunians? Yeah. So interesting. It's the first time we've heard it mentioned for Oden as well.
Oh, yeah. That's also true. But it makes sense given that Momonosuke can, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's not a big deal. Also get to find young Neptune, who's just a knight now.
Yeah. Yeah, that apparently he's a...
well, he was a knight when Roger first met him, but now he's recently become king.
Yeah, I like that they know each other, and one Neptune's like, "So you'll be the one to do it," and I was like, "What does he mean?" And Roger's like, "I'm not getting up to anything." And then we hear about this prophecy. He's like, "There's a prophecy that very soon somebody's going to destroy the gates of Fishman Island, and now you're all here. So the natural assumption is," and then they hear a dum. It's like, "King Neptune has been destroyed." Neptunian just been through the gate.
The docile Neptunians? That's impossible. It's like, this is weird. And so they're sealing the breach of the outer bubble. It's like, it turned into disaster after all. But it wasn't our fault. It wasn't our fault. And then we get to see 3-year-old Charlie, who's already doing her
telling fortunes.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Neptunians are restless because they are waiting for the mermaid princess to be born. And wait, you had another prophecy? Is His Majesty going to have a child? It's like, that's wonderful news. Like, I'm not even married yet. I only took the throne a few months ago.
So this is very new.
Yeah, so much so. He's like, but Neptune, she prophesied the death of the late king, too. She did. And she was right about the seditious mermaid Otohime in her political protest, which is so great.
Which is wild. They hadn't even gotten married yet.
Yeah, haven't really. Well, they knew of each other, but they did.
Yeah.
That's an interesting story, how she went from like a political protest to the wife of the king.
Yeah, definitely. I like that. They're like, yeah, these are not good prophecies to be correct about.
But we go back to the sea forest where Frankie was hanging out, and Charlie's been riling up the country lately. But it's like we didn't come here for small talk. It doesn't matter. But we heard you had 2 stones. It was like we thought be important, but one of these 2 is not very important. It's only an apology from somebody named Joy Boy, which I believe is the second time we've heard of this Joy Boy, right? Mm.
Well, that was when Robin read this poneglyph in Fishman Island.
Read the same poneglyph. It was like, she just mentioned it was Joy Boy. I don't think we heard that it was an apology, correct?
I think it might have been an apology. I think we might have known that. But yeah, either way, it's not really. Even now, I don't know what it is. So, not much new information there.
There is something important about this Joy Boy. There has to be.
Hey, as we'll see.
There has to be. Not even, obviously not just even from this, but something.
Yeah. The fact that he wrote the apology in the language of the poneglyphs, I feel like already kind of implies a lot, and that it's kind of right next to one that's like, oh yeah, the ancient weapon, and the stone on the Sky Island said it would be here.
And it's like, well, there was a little prophecy that little Charlie delivered not long ago that sent a shiver down my spine. It said that a mermaid who can talk to Neptunians will soon be born. They only come around every few centuries, so perhaps. And Roger's like, wait, you're saying your daughter's going to be a weapon that will destroy the world one day? He's like, it's just a prophecy. And every power head depends on how you use it. It's like, could have guessed that Poseidon would be a mermaid?
Which is funny that this is how in Fishman Island, Neptune knew that Shirahoshi was Neptune, but I guess this is how he found out.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And according to Charlie, the mermaid princess is going to be born in 10 years. It's like, what? And even Neptune's like, why would you take an interest in this, Roger? I'm disappointed in you. And Rayleigh's just like, it's not the weapon we're after, Neptune. It's the people who called it a weapon. Specifically, the vast treasure those people left behind somewhere. That's so interesting that they called it a weapon. They didn't even think about that. It's like, what's up with the people who called this Poseidon, this mermaid princess, a weapon?
Weapon. Right. Well, I guess I feel like if you can kind of extrapolate from that we know, yes, I was a little worried about mixing up my information, but we know like Pluton is actually a weapon, right? Like it's a giant battleship because they had the plans that Frankie had the plans.
Yes.
So like that is an actual weapon. So I feel like it wouldn't be a stretch to assume that Neptune would also be a weapon, but also I feel like the ability to control the Neptunians, one could understand why that could be considered a weapon.
Right, in some way.
in the wrong hands or the right hands, or to the right person or to the wrong, depending on if you're on the other side of that weapon.
I wonder if all these are weapons of rebels fighting the government that made it the lost century.
Yeah, well, certainly. Yeah, that's why they wanted Pluton, right? That was sort of their whole deal. Is on the surface, it was like, oh, we want to make sure that nobody else has it, right? We don't want it to fall into the wrong hands. And I feel like we know enough at this point to know that's complete BS.
Yeah, exactly. Seriously. But I do love how they end off here. It's like, feel better. Don't worry. We're not coming back in the future to kidnap your hairy daughter. It's like, she will not be hairy.
Not be hairy. Thank goodness.
That would have been a very different Shirahoshi.
Very different Shirahoshi. Yeah.
But we have another page of just Binks's brew bringing out as they're going on their little adventure.
I love how
more poneglyphs.
That island that rains lightning keeps coming back up.
I know.
And also we saw the Sunny ride the same like like big waves right after they left Fishman Island.
That's right.
And the island that rains lightning was going to be where they were going to go until they got the distress call to go to Punk Hazard.
That's right. So they kind of are following that path. That's so weird.
Yeah, it makes me wonder. I don't know what the third panel there is on the same row. Then
it's I don't know, some poneglyph they found on the way.
Yeah, they found a poneglyph
going in such an odd direction that he's not following the usual path. Yeah.
My assumption is that I was like, would that mean that this is Dressrosa then? But I guess it could just be anywhere. You know, there's like a one-eyed guy, like a Cyclops.
Oh yeah,
a giant Cyclops in the background there. Yeah, I
don't know if he's a Cyclops or just has tiny eyes.
Yeah, it could also just be that with the resolution.
Yeah, I do love that panel though, where you see Shanks, walking along little Momonosuke and another pirate.
Yeah,
having. Hiyori riding on his shoulders. It's adorable.
That's adorable.
But then of course got a scene where all the pirates are just in hot springs together. And finally we end up in the seas near Wano, where Toki has fallen ill. Because, her original destination was the land of Wano. With it so close at hand, the exhaustion of her long journey has finally caught up to her. She ought to disembark.
Yeah. Well, it's funny that it feels like they basically did like a giant loop-de-loop, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's like, Kinemon and the others don't know about Lady Toki, so that's when Dogstorm and Cat Viper decided to stay behind because they're going to explain things. And Oden's like, I'm staying too. It's like, and Toki's like, no, you're going. If you're the type of man who stops now, then I'm getting a divorce. Which is great characterization of Toki.
Yeah. I really love this last little bit on this page where they stop in Wano just briefly, and we see Kinemon and all the other the vassals, and they're like, it's very good to see you again at last, Lord Oden. You left Kuri in our hands when you departed, and now, in fact, all of Wano is and Toki's like, if you truly care for Oden, then I beg of you, just let him go. And Oden says, I will be leaving again for quite some time. And as the narration goes, even as I turned my back on Wano, I knew that some ominous change was afoot. And you can see the smokestacks in the background.
From the factories. Oh my.
So even
I saw that. It's
time his way. It is heartbreaking. He's like, something's not right here. Clearly, the samurai want to tell him what's going on. And they're just like, I have to do this. If
I stayed, I am staying. I would never go to see it again. And as we have found out, there is no way Roger would have become Pirate King without Oden.
Exactly. Yes.
He is the key figure here. So it's amazing how much wouldn't have happened if Oden had stayed behind. Like, Wano would have been fine, but the rest of the world would have been very different.
Yeah, that's a really interesting way to put it, because it really, I feel like throughout this whole sequence, we're really seeing like history change in real time, in how much Oden's kind of choice here. You almost feel you want to believe that it's like fate at work, the way that his narration had said that like my blood was calling out to me. I had to know why the Gozuki clan can read these letters, and so it's kind of a journey of discovery for him. But seeing what it's doing to his homeland is not easy. And of course we have Kinemon and Kanjuro, scoundrel. And then I love Roger just calling him a scoundrel in a cutesy voice. It's so good.
This one just definitely breaks your heart. Just like it was my first return home in 4 years, and it lasted merely hours. And Roger's discovered that the only way to reach Zoe is with this Viver card, and I can see why. It's not even an island. So, and Oden, of course, can hear stuff. It's something strange here, and something's up. But they make it to Zoe, meet the Minks, and we meet. I love this. Meet the previous leader of Zoe, Genghis Bon, and it's a sheep. It's a ram.
Yes,
that's amazing.
It's so good. I just love that he's just kind of those incorrigible problem children are still alive. Quite the uproar after they had vanished, and they're just they're all of course, the minks are just, Garchu, welcome visitors, and both Oden and Roger are just like, they don't feel so good. It feels like they're being watched. And of course, you cut to the giant like whale tree thing. So again, really just
what is up with Zoe?
Right? Is it another voice that they can hear?
Oh man, and that's it with Zoe. They have found the final road poneglyph, and above it, of course, the Kozuki crest. We were true. We were brothers with the minks. And then here's little Pedro.
Yes, I do find it funny that their last road poneglyph was Luffy's first.
That is really funny.
Again, I really feel like it's the parallels, right?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. And I love how Roger talks to Pedro because he's like, "Let me take me along." It's like, okay, you said your name was Pedro. You're on the waiting list. Everyone gets their turn, their time to shine, and when it comes around, then you can help us. And
that scene was also, I think that was in Whole Cake. I think that was the scene of Pedro's death, or maybe
I would believe
point,
it.
Bob,
yeah, sometimes it's time to shine. So yeah, this was Pedro's time to shine.
Yeah. I forget
Pedro,
if we knew that was Roger. Yeah, seriously. And again, just the way that we're seeing all these things come together, right? The way it's almost as if he knew, the way that Roger's like, everybody's gonna have their moment. So, oh man.
But continue the narration with, we had found several real poneglyphs and the 4 road poneglyphs. It's interesting that there are fake poneglyphs out there, apparently.
I think it's a translation thing. I'm gonna have to look at later. Okay. Yeah. There are poneglyphs, and I think the real poneglyphs are the ones that specifically talk about like history.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I see.
There's something along those lines. I don't think it's meant to imply that there are fake ones.
Yeah. And as we get close to the end, they're in a port town, and Roger's hacking and coughing in his room. He's not feeling well, and he just Shanks is asking after him. He's like, do we know the place? Yeah, we figured it out. When did we sail? Right now. Mm-hmm. So it's I love this explanation for why Shanks and Buggy don't know. And
you were asking about this multiple times. You brought this up, and I was like, "There's a reason. There's a reason. Don't worry. We'll get there."
What's the reason? Buggy got sick.
Which is the most Buggy explanation. And then, but I do love that Shanks actually stayed by to take care of him.
Yeah, and yet he still has this grudge against, and from all the way back,
of this,
because we've seen that he's already has the chop fruit. So the fact that he holds a grudge to that so much is ridiculous.
Yeah, and I love the narration from Oden. It's like, are they best friends or mortal enemies?
Depends on who you ask.
Yeah. And then I also love, Shanks saying, if we're gonna go, we're gonna take our own ship someday. Which also
yeah. I honestly have a thought about Shanks. Because Shanks knows so much of this. He knows where the last island is. Because he was there. I'm pretty sure he should have known where it is. Because he's there. It's like, he asked Roger if he's ready.
Like they figured it out.
Yeah. So he's aware.
Just because he didn't go doesn't mean that he doesn't know where it is. I see what you mean.
Exactly. Yes.
Mm-hmm. And of course, there's certainly no reason that, like, just because he didn't go doesn't mean that, like, did they not tell him what it is, right? Like,
exactly. And
if he knows,
I think in Buggy's case, he's too afraid to do it on his own. It's just too difficult.
Yeah, and maybe too stupid.
Yeah. In Shanks's case, I have a different prediction for him. I think he's guarding it. Because Whitebeard has no interest. Big Mom and Kaido obviously have an interest, but Shanks is I think he's waiting for somebody worthy.
And that would make sense because, like, that is sort of his reaction to Luffy, right? Like, all of his interactions with Luffy really kind of feel like, oh, he knows, right? Like, he sees Roger in him and saying the same things, and it's like, maybe he's going to be the one to do it. What I will say is that Shanks knows a lot more. He knows a lot more than he's letting on. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. As is tradition. He the things that we will learn that Shanks is aware of is very funny.
Oh my god.
So
that's my guess right now is that
little...
Shanks is acting as guardian of the last island.
I actually don't know, so I will say I agree.
But we cut from there to Roger's pirate crew has finally done it. Completed a full circumnavigation of the globe, the first ever to do it. Someone has conquered this sea, the king of the sea, the king of the pirates. And on that day, we learned the entire truth of the world. What the 100-year void is, what the people of the D are, what the ancient weapons are. In the past, Wano was open to the world. In the face of that vast treasure, which was very real indeed, Roger just laughed. And before we go any further, that is a hefty promise Oda has just put in front of us, that once we reach this final island, you will learn the truth. What is the void?
Everything.
What is the world of D? What are the ancient weapons?
Yeah. That is a statement of intent.
Yes, it is.
And honestly, it's brilliant, right?
Yes.
Like it is saying all of like the biggest long-running mysteries of One Piece are all tied to the One Piece treasure. It's all there.
Yeah, it is the one piece of lore that you need.
Yeah, exactly. So it is just, it's almost kind of comforting in that way. It's of course just like it's a horrible tease. It's like, I want to know what all these things are. They are the people who learned everything. All of the big secrets of the world are just apparently right there. But it is also, as a reader, comforting to know that, all of these things are connected to one another. So
God, and that full panel of Roger laughing is just,
it's perfect. It's one of the best panels in the whole series. It is one of my favorite page turn, like for one of my favorite chapters in the series. That page turn of just the build up to him getting to the final island, just in the face of that treasure, and he just laughed. And they all laughed. Everybody's laughing. They're all cheering and laughed till tears sprang to our eyes. Like, it's just, what is the One Piece that makes them react like this? That like it's so good. It almost
feels like it almost calls back to that childhood dream, that boyish dream, and it's almost emphasizes that because Roger just goes, "Oh, Joy Boy, I wish I'd been born in your time." Who the hell is Joy Boy?
Well, not only that he says that this is quite a treasure you left behind. It's a tale full of laughs. So the One Piece is Joy Boy's treasure. Yeah, just straight up. This is our really, our second chapter that we've mentioned Joy Boy since Fishman Island, and we have now learned that he is the one who originally left the One Piece where it is.
And that's the funny thing, is that Roger is not the first to conquer the Grand Line. Joy Boy is, or even just the people of Joy Boy's time. But for whatever reason, he was all vanished. He was all vanished for that Void Century. So that gives them the chance to actually name this island. So let's give it a name. Let's call it Laugh Tale. And
there it is.
It's like, oh, it's not Raftel, it's Laugh Tale. I don't know. Like, there's something about it, just the fact that the whole laughing aspect of it it's like on face value, it's like, okay, whatever. It's not that big of a deal to have a difference. But the fact that the laughing was so emphasized leading up to this, there's something just like thrilling to the point that you get chills.
Exactly. Yes. I do want to point out, because some people think that this is like, oh, is Raftel a mistranslation? Is it a retcon? It's kind of a little bit of. What I will say is that up to this point in the manga, Raftel has just been written out in katakana, right? Just written phonetically as Rafuteru, which is just like a nonsense word, right? Like, it's just like, if you're translating One Piece in the year like 2001 or whatever, and you see that, you're like, what is that? Like, there's no way to know that it's like an actual word. When he says we're gonna call it Laugh Tale in that last panel, that is the first time in the Japanese version Oda writes Laugh Tale in English.
Oh wow!
So it is meant to be it is meant to be. I am revealing the intent of what the true meaning of Raftel is supposed to be, and it's Laugh Tale. So,
oh my god,
It really and now, thank God, I don't have to be cheeky anymore. I could just call it Laugh Tale now. I don't have to be like it's not Laugh Tale yet. It's not Laugh Tale yet. It's just Raft Tale.
Man, having to hold that in for 960 some odd chapters.
Yeah, I do believe I knew that by the time we started this podcast. I think that was information.
Yeah, you definitely would have, because we didn't start until after 1,000 had already been out. So
that's true. Yeah. So like. Yeah, and that of course is the reason why we didn't want to watch Stampede quite yet, because they do integrate this change into Stampede.
Now I'm very curious how Stampede reveals it, because obviously this is the way you want it revealed. Pity to the people who got spoiled by Stampede.
Very casually is the answer. They treat it as if it is known information, and do not acknowledge it at all, that it's anything like. Yeah, no. It was always Laugh Tale. Is kind of the vibe you get from Stampede.
Oh my God.
Which just like it's like gaslighting the manga readers.
It really is.
But either way, like this, would you have ever thought that like we get so close to seeing the One Piece on screen? Like, it is like on the other side of the panel on this last page, where you're just seeing them all react to it this way, and it just makes me wonder how is Luffy going to react when he sees it? Is he going to laugh?
I think he'll laugh.
I do think he'll also laugh.
Absolutely laugh.
But, man,
so I made a mistake. The SBS that we read last time was actually after this chapter, so it's really funny that the island is called Laugh Tale. We're gonna have more stuff about Nami now.
Yeah, it's funny because Oda did say that he chooses the SBSs based on the the chapters, right? So that like the tone doesn't clash too much, but that would have clashed a little bit.
You might as well laugh a bit. That
is
it's not
also
super serious, so I guess it works.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll find out the tone of the other SBSs as we continue.
Yeah, that is also true. We're about to take a little
1 hour to talk about 2 chapters.
2 chapters. I wouldn't have it any other way. For 2 of my favorite chapters in the whole series, I'm happy. We got a lot out of those. Good God. This is like peak One Piece to me. Just this, seeing the mysteries, the world, the way that it parallels Luffy's journey, learning really like. This is the most we've ever seen Roger in person. We've seen him talk to Belt, but never kind of actively in the narrative in this way.
And so many people aware of him or aware of certain things, and just how it all kind of slots together. And
yeah,
man, just the fact that we get to see so much of his journey, except for the final bit. And you know what? I'm satisfied with that.
I'm very satisfied with that.
Yeah, I don't need to see it. Not yet.
Oh man, but it really does get you excited though. I really that knowing that everything is tied to the treasure is like,
and as I said in the beginning,
is perfect.
Never would have imagined Oden's backstory would be connected to this.
Would be like, this?
Well, connected, but not shown, I guess is the better way to put it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because they mentioned it on Zoe. It's like, oh yeah, he was with Whitebeard, and then he was with Roger, and he went there to the final island. But like, it was sort of glossed over. It was kind of like it was like the least important aspect of all of the like dozen other lore dumps happening at the time.
Yeah.
But no, the fact that we actually do see it depicted in full it's wonderful. It's so good. It's one of those chapters that makes me happy. I'm a One Piece fan.
Right. Let's continue on with chapter 968, Oden's Return. And Gotti has seen that the Marines have captured Chiffon, so it's up to him to save her, while chaos is in the streets as people are running from kissers. So
yeah. I love how this is like our second of this story in a row of like somebody like passed out in the foreground.
Right, chaos is happening in Dressrosa while
yeah. The poor Dressrosa, man, just can't catch a break.
Seriously. Oh gosh, I have a feeling because I don't think he went with him. Not Riku's bodyguard, one-legged man. Why I always forget his name now.
Kiros.
Kiros. I don't think Kiros went with him, did he?
Oh, to the referee?
Yeah.
He did. He
did
met
go
Kobe.
to the referee. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. He did go to the river. You're right. I remember that now. Oh gosh, but man, let's get more lore.
Yeah, we're not done yet. We're not done.
So, when Roger returned from Laugh Tale, Shanks came to him and asked him something, only to shed tears afterward.
Which is,
my guess is, does this mean you're dying?
Right. I would guess. That almost feels too obvious because he would have already known that. So it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know what to make of it, which is just really, it's interesting.
It is.
Interesting reaction.
But the birth of the King of the Pirates caused a stir around the world, prompting the Navy to leap into drastic action.
This is also interesting, knowing that because he hasn't been executed yet, right?
No.
We think sort of that Roger's execution is what kicks off the Great Pirate Era, but we're kind of seeing the build up, right? We're seeing sort of the instability.
The Marines are trying to quash that immediately. It's we got to get rid of this guy. Yeah. And I love how the opening of the anime, the opening of so much, is just a newspaper article that Rayleigh's reading. The man who achieved wealth, fame, power, the King of the Pirates, Gold Roger. Except we don't have the rest of it concerning the One Piece. He's like, I love how Roger's like, hey, it's Gold D Roger. But I got to say, King of the Pirates does have a nice ring. And it's like, I can see why the government wouldn't want to hide your name since they did just learn the will of D.
That's just hilarious. They all know at this point. And I love that, with Oden's narration, and he's like, the world at large referred to everything that Roger gained as the One Piece. And they're like, they have no idea.
That sounds like something like, oh boy, they hit that on the nose a lot closer than they ever think. Like it's a guy who knows spoilers. It's like, they don't even know the half of it.
Exactly. Yeah. No. Yeah.
But of course we got pirates calling out. I was like, I'll be the one to take out Roger, and Marines. I think it's like CP9 being, the CP cipher poles being like, find Roger now and steal his treasure. They said Gold Roger's got everything in his hoard. So just all this attention from them is like crazy. But the funny thing is, as proof, because I don't know about you, but when I first heard about Roger, I always assumed that he was at large as King of the Pirates for a long time before they finally captured him. And Roger has been a pirate for a long time, but he becomes King of the Pirates and it's like, then decides like, hey guys, you all know I'm going to die. I have nothing but gratitude. He's complimenting his crews. Like, you're making us blush, all that. It's like, all right, we're ready. Lay it on us. I'm hereby disbanding the Roger Pirates. So yeah, became the King of the Pirates and then disbanded the Roger Pirates. That's crazy.
What's it? It really is like, hey, we won. we did everything we needed to do. It's like, all right, I'm out. I'm dying anyway. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they go under sea again, and we get this interesting narrations. The birthing is at hand. Our sovereign will soon be born, and another in a distant sea. The whales are delighted in anticipation of the day the two sovereigns shall meet. Who's the other sovereign? What the hell? They have not been born yet. Shirahoshi is 9 years away. Mm-hmm. I almost wonder if Luffy's the other sovereign, but I get a little too into Destiny. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how I feel about Destiny in One Piece.
Yeah. And certainly my interpretation of this is that it's Luffy. And when we talk about Destiny and things of fate at work in One Piece, I feel like Oda is writing a very fine line here.
Oh, it's
and so far, I think it's been okay.
Yeah,
I think the thing for me is sort of like you have the idea of like how much of Luffy's journey is like preordained, and then I also think about the way that what was it? They said to Usopp, where he was like, I would never go on an adventure that's not any fun, and so I think if Luffy, for whatever reason, found out like say that this was actually all preordained and Luffy found out, he'd be pissed. I think he would be like no, like I have the freedom to make my own choices.
And it's something we've discussed in the past before, but I think what Oda might be getting at here that makes it less Destiny and more, you need a certain personality in order to make it to the end, because It's that fun. It's the adventure. It's the freedom. It's the laughing. That's what's necessary to make it to the end.
I think that is also a really interesting part, particularly of the emperors with Big Mom and with Kaido and Blackbeard specifically. The idea, I feel like with Big Mom and Kaido, since we've kind of had the most time with them so far, I feel like their stories have been so much about like how they're like they're not going to make it, basically, right? It's sort of like they have the wrong interpretation of like what it kind of means to be king of the pirates, or like why they want to find the One Piece, why they want this like, you know, power and influence, you know, like they're kind of sort of there in the way that, you know, Big Mom wants to have a family, but like, you know, she's too kind of crazy and controlling to really do it. And, you know, Kaido is basically all about like power. And, you know, is basically effectively no different than the world government as far as I'm concerned. And so I really do feel like it is like that. It is not necessarily about like being a pirate or about fighting the world government. It is like, you know, it's about freedom. It's about fun. It's about letting people having the freedom of self-determination and all of that. And so I think that's where Oda's taking the story. That's where I think that it is like the fate is that effectively like it's sort of like all timelines, if you want to put it that way.
There's a rhythm. I almost feel like it's like this is coming. These things from the past are coming into effect.
It's the checkered fate.
That a lot of them are just happen to be happening around the same time. This time around, and I don't know. But again, we have this. We've been waiting for so long. It is almost here, and surely all will go well this time. So it's not even just a reference to, you know, Roger and him becoming king of the pirates. It's a reference to I'm going to guess the Void Century. So whatever happened in the Void Century is happening again. So it's just all kinds of just things just coming together again in a perfect alignment. Yeah.
And they said it's not necessarily even the mermaid princess that can control the Neptunians. It's not even every 800 years. It's like every few hundred, right? Like, so presumably every like 3 or 4 maybe.
Yeah.
But I guess like the idea that whatever they're waiting for is like, okay, this is all going to go right this time, presuming that the Void Century ended in a way where it went poorly, or that it didn't go as they had wanted, and now that, you know, somebody who can control them can kind of guide them in the right way.
Yeah,
and I guess that is how you could interpret that.
There's a I don't know how to put this. It's not the first time in One Piece that things have happened at the just right moment that they've arrived at an island. Obviously, Oda's been a sort of fixing that so it's not so constant. Where, like with the whole Dressrosa, like time to attack Doflamingo thing, how that was affected by actions and so forth. It isn't just so happy to be here. But the 20-year time jump for the Akazaya 9, it's hard, you know. Sometimes time just works out for you, so it's fascinating. Yeah,
which I think is something that he's a fan of. I definitely think that there are going to be even more things that are like, in terms of, you know, how heavy is the hand of fate working in all of this. But I feel like, at least so far for me, it has not undermined the character's own intentions and the character's own journeys at this point. And I feel like it is sort of kind of running in parallel maybe to sort of like the character's intentions and where the story is going. And so I have not had that moment yet where I'm like, this is too much. But it is a very fine line.
It is. I think another thing that helps is that, for the most part, Luffy and the crew don't know any of this.
That is also true.
So they're not affected by anything that they're like, oh, yes, we must follow destiny or anything like that. It's like, I am the chosen one. It's just like, it's just more people outside of things. Yeah. Almost like think of the Marvel's The Watcher. It's like, aha, these events are lining up again, sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I also think with the Destiny conversation, it is one of those things where it's like, to what end, right? Like the idea that with Luffy's journey, it is sort of like kind of slowly putting in the cracks to all of these oppressive systems. It is sort of, I feel like almost in a way that like humans are fated to be free, right? Like that you cannot live under oppression forever. And so that it is like, if fate is at play, it is to bring freedom to all of the oppressed people. And which is, I think, kind of hopeful.
It is. And the great thing here is that Roger senses something. Like, he knows something else is coming, because he's like, okay, when's the Mermaid Princess going to be born? In 10 years. He's like, I am certain that voice was speaking the truth. Someone will be born and eventually surpass us. See, we were just too early. The One Piece, they call it, I wonder who will find it. So that, him learning this, learning about Laugh Tale and the fact that somebody else is coming, this other sovereign, he doesn't know who it is. Right. But he knows it has to do with freedom, and perhaps even the fact of being piracy and having that freedom outside of the Marines, which might be why he allows himself to be captured, so he can do that declaration that sends out the great age of piracy. So he's following a sort of like, let me set this up so we can actually, like, he wants this to happen.
Yeah.
But I also love like,
yeah,
that'd be my son, of course. Like, you don't have one. It's like, huh.
You were almost right.
Almost right. But here's, wait just a bit. God, there's so many things that just happened time after time.
Right.
There's like, we addressed that in just a few panels.
Yeah.
But, you're just like, they're drinking, making merry as they get ready to disembark and all that stuff. And they head us toward the sea where the Navy won't be waiting, which of course has to be the East Blue, because that's the one they least suspect, which also would explain why that's where Ace is eventually. And then we'll make sure.
Did we know where Ace was born? Was that in the East Blue? I guess it would have had to have been.
It would have to be, I would think.
I don't remember.
I don't either.
But ever mentioned. I also like that while all this was happening, and I don't even know if he he had the time to take a stop, or I guess he was captured, but he talked to Garp and it was like, take care of my son.
I mean, I think he was also saying that to. I think that was right before he got executed.
Yeah. I think he was captured. I think so. That would make sense.
Yeah. So, he has one thing he wants to do before he dies. He wants to meet with Whitebeard. Should I have him send Izo back to Wano? I was like, no. He became very comfortable in that ship. Tell him you take care of Whitebeard for me. He's like, will do. And we get our narration again from Oden saying, Roger said something to his oldest confidant, Rayleigh, the man they called the Dark King, which causes him to cry. And then he stepped off the ship. He had a whole bundle of medicine from the ship Dr. Crocus. His disease was in its final stages. But this was a man's farewell. We were utterly stoic. Not a tear was shed. Meanwhile, they're all just bawling.
They're all bawling, yeah. The crew of the King of the Pirates would never, ever cry.
And here's the crazy thing to me. Well, actually, it's still not time. I don't know if it's still time yet. Gosh, when did they say it? Because they say something about when Roger is executed during the set, don't they?
Ooh, see, now I'm not sure.
I thought they did, but now I'm like looking ahead. It's like, I thought it would be this one, but now I'm not 100% sure in that.
Oh, no, I think I know what you mean. Of Oden seeing the execution.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a little bit later.
Okay. That's what I'm saving for, because the time until the execution is very interesting.
Yes, that is true.
Because
that is also
essentially, from what I can understand...
No, you're right.
We don't know how long this journey took. He had a year. I assume he used most of that year to try to go to all those places.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that. But, oh God, there's so much to talk about. I think we talked about more about this chapter than we were the last two. What the hell?
Right. All these little details.
But they go back to Wano. It's brutal as ever. They make it through the currents. He's like, until this point, there was a purpose to this country being closed, but now we must open its port before the day that Joy Boy appears.
Which is like, what is that?
What is Joy Boy all about? Why does he need to open it for
dead.
him?
He was somebody who left the One Piece treasure. What do you mean the day before Joy Boy appears that we have to open Wano's
makes it
borders?
seem that the other sovereign is Joy Boy.
Right. Which makes you think, right? Like, what does Joy Boy have to do with making sure that Wano is open?
Right. Where's the connection there? Which I would almost not be surprised if it has something to do with Ryoma as well. I don't know how far back in the past Ryoma was, but
yeah.
Oh my god. But this is heartbreaking right here. It's like he writes, "It's not as though I'm dying, so of course we parted with a smile. We all know that we'll meet again one day."
And of course they're all crying too.
Yeah. Oh god, but then he reunites with Toki and immediately can just sense something's up because you can see all the patches on her cloak.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even
kimono.
Notice that. Yeah. And again, there's just more of those smokestacks. You can see just Wano changing bit by bit.
Yeah, and it's this grand reunion between all of them. He's missed him very much. He got more, as you said, the smokestacks. He got all that. And I love how Kinemon just says to him, "Welcome back, scoundrel." It's like, and where are your proper manners? I didn't realize you were deserving of manners.
Oof.
But everybody's excited that Oden's back. Just like and he's like, "Wait, what's that? What's going on? Why am I popular?
I'm popular."
I thought they'd be pissed. And Kinemon's like, "It's your wife. She's kind of amazing. She's a woman of great character. Once her sickness passed, she went into town and helped the people with their work. She never put on airs for being the wife of the daimyo. She worked and sweat with everyone else and told exciting tales of your adventures. Toki and the children are now tremendously beloved figures in Curry," which goes to show why they're so devoted to Momonosuke. That's again, the fact that they had so little interaction with Momonosuke, not since he was born, just since he came back, and they just accepted it. But the number of people who disparage your willful ways has dwindled down to nothing.
Wow, talk about a turnaround.
And this is so cute. He's like, "Oh, you did that for me, thanks." It's like, it's only because we love you so much, Oden, right? And they're just all such a happy family.
Poor Raizo. I wish I had game.
That's such a good line.
I never realized this running gag of Raizo just not having any riz whatsoever.
No, he is not popular with the women. So,
maybe he's got a big head,
And then Oden, of course, approaches Kiku. It's like, "Want to talk about Izo?" It's like, "Oh, I heard it from the dog and the cat. I'm glad he's well." It's like, all right, cool. But what happened to Denjiro and Ashura? I didn't see them a year ago either. So Ashura is leading the Yakuza and the bandits in Curry, which that's interesting that he became part of that, to make sure they don't go wild. Meanwhile, Denjiro has been wandering all over the place, borrowing and paying back money, which we still have not met adult Denjiro. They made a point of that. They only showed kid Denjiro.
Yeah.
Where the hell's Denjiro?
Yeah, now time has passed, so it's just like, where is he?
Yeah. And Oden's like, "Wait, hoarding back brigands, borrowing money, that's not a great sign of a healthy country." He's like, "Yeah, there's another reason everyone's really happy you're back. So here's the story. After you left the country, we did our best to manage Curry in the absence of its daimyo with the assistance of the populace." And he's like, "Oh, so my father really was in poor health then. I'm sad I wasn't able to be at his deathbed." And Kinemon's like, No. The real problem is the shogun's successor. To our chagrin, your father, Sukiyaki, recommended Orochi to that." And Oden's like, listening to this is like, wait a second.
What?
Why? Orochi was a brother to me? All I did was lend him money out of consideration to Yasu, and he never once returned a single coin. On top of that, Orochi was the descendant of the Korazumi clan that caused that terrible incident in the past. And now I find out that Korazumi Orochi is occupying the position of shogun as my proxy?
And things are not lining up here.
Yeah, it's like, you notice the factories. Now those are weapon factories and full of supervisors who manage the labor. And the shogun's own edict is the men have been put to work at the factories on wages too cheap to live on. It's like, wait, why is everybody paying a sniveler like Orochi? Like, this should not be a problem. And it's like, well, he has the support of a pirate by the name of Kaido, and he is as strong as a monster.
It's interesting because we were talking about how how Kaido is going to play into all of this. I'd completely forgotten this. It's like entirely off screen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
We still don't know how Orochi and Kaido met up in that gap.
I feel like there's so much happening already. It is kind of one of those things. It's like, all right, we can kind of just say that the reader already knows that it happened, so it just happened. Somehow
Kaido came into contact. He's able to get his weapons factories up so he can get his men to be stronger. And, being able to be in Wano, he's off the books. He's like,
exactly.
As far as the government. So is a very beneficial position. And of course, Orochi gets to keep his position. If we get back against Orochi, and like Toki's like, wait, Kinemon, don't tell him anything. It's like Oden's like, no, speak up. And Kinemon says, take Momonosuke and Hiyori out of the room. So about a half a year ago at the weapons factory, there was a man who refused to work, and he and his family were executed. That was the last straw. We had enough of Orochi's barbarity. In our anger, we took up swords and marched to the flower capital to put a stop to Orochi. But in the meantime, Kaido's followers snuck into Curry behind us. They infiltrated the castle and threatened the life of your future heir to the Kozuki clan, Momonosuke. Ultimately, the enemies were driven back by Kawamatsu and Dogstorm, who had been standing guard at the castle, but it was none other than Lady Toki who gave up her body to block the enemy's arrows when they first struck. And Kinemon's just on his bowing as low as he can. It's like, I'm so sorry. Because of us, Toki suffered a terrible wound to her leg. We exposed your family to danger. I am so ashamed. I have no excuse. And Oden's like, Toki, show me. And she's like, it's fine. It's already healed. It's like, no, they shot an arrow into you. And he sees the scar of the arrow in her leg. And it's like, he hugs her and just goes, you protected our son. You did so well. How it must have hurt. And she can see his anger. He's like, no, don't get angry over something trivial like this. The enemy will only... And he's like, trivial? You have not heard stories of my past.
That's true. It's like that's sort of what gets Oden to be like, all right, time. Let's get down to business, right? Like, we've established that Oden is like he does not play. It's like, all right, let's
you
wrap
injured
this
my
up.
wife? No, you're done.
No, we're done. We're done here.
So I don't know all the ins and outs of the story, but I know a fool has taken control of Wano. So he grabs his swords, crashes out of the building, runs through the forest, jumps over bridges. He is, just a weak, cowardly fool using the strength of a fearsome pirate and taking advantage of this closed nation where no one can interfere to turn our land into a hellscape. And all the reports are coming in. It's like, Oden's on his way to the flower capital. Report to Orochi. And all the people are like, oh, thank God.
Yeah, exactly. And I love the build up to this. You just hear the scream. You see like the dead bodies on the ground, the swords planted in the ground. Like, Shogun Orochi, come in. Kosuke Oden has entered the castle. The soldiers are wiped out. Flee, my lord.
And he's already there.
Yep.
And Oden's already in his has his crown along with his top knot and surrounded by women as he always is. And he's like, he's immediately freaking out. I was like, no, wait, Oden, think carefully. Kaido's not going to like it if you attack me. Think about what happened in this country. Only after I cut you in two. It's like, oh God, he's crazy. That's right.
Which is a great way to end the chapter. Just the build up. It's like once Oden finally, like he's like, I don't need to know the ins and outs. I just know there's some BS happening here, and I'm going into we're gonna put a stop to it right now, and just the leap into action, and just as soon as he gets back from his great adventure with Roger, and it's like, all right, like
we're dealing with this.
yeah, exactly.
But it also creates questions in your head, which we do get answered of like, how does he lose to, like, how does Kaido and Orochi still have power when Oden rode with Roger? Like,
right.
Strongest power crew, and yet he still lost this battle, especially after what we saw, Rayleigh get up to. So
very much so, yeah.
Not quite time for that answer yet, though, because we do have another SPS for 968, and this one's definitely going to be a little bit more interesting. This is only a single question, but it's a big one.
Ooh, let's go.
A question. Several characters have appeared with the name Shimotsuki, including Shimotsuki Yasuie, Ryuma, Kozaburo, and Ushimaru. But is there a connection to the place Zoro grew up in that bears the exact same name, Shimotsuki Village, and Zoro's teacher, Koshiro. So, given how Zoro said he was taught the term Sanachi by a geezer in his village, and how in Volume 92's SPS he revealed how some came to the East Blue, it's starting to make sense. And Oda goes, "Oh yes, you might have to follow very closely to picture this, but let me explain. It all starts with Shimotsuki Kozaburo, a swordsmith and swordsman. He forges the Enma and bestows it to the heir of the Kozuki family, Oden. 55 years ago, he sets out to sea. He and the samurai of Wano have a grand adventure, and they make landfall in a certain place in the East Blue. They saved the locals from mountain bandits, and then teach the villagers the way of the sword, who become enamored with swordplay. They decided to settle there, founding Shimotsuki Village, and then his son Koshiro is born, and then the granddaughter Kuina is born. To put in other words, who Zoro meant by a geezer in his village that he meant was actually Grandpa Shimotsuki Koboro himself, who comes from Wano country. So Kozaburo is still alive in Shimotsuki Village at the time of Zoro's youth. Oh, then that could mean Zoro's lineage? Well, the story of Shimotsuki Kozaburo, the samurai who founded Shimotsuki Village, is all I'm willing to share today. So now we're getting teases of who Zoro's related to, which is both cool, but I really hope he's not. I don't want Zoro's strength to come from lineage. Mm-hmm, we already got that from Luffy.
Yeah.
We kind of just got that from
Sanji.
For Sanji as well. These monstrously strong men.
Mm-hmm.
Don't take that away from Zoro.
I do think that, like, even if there is sort of that lineage with Zoro, I feel like, and really with all of the Straw Hats, right? I feel like it's sort of their hard work that kind of makes them who they are.
True.
So I do sort of feel like, though, that, like, yeah, the sort of so and so actually has a special heritage. Oh, so and so also has a special heritage. That kind of thing does get a little tiring.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Still, it's funny to have that all confirmed now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, as far way back as I don't remember the first time we knew Zoro's hometown, but I remember as way back then I was like, oh, this will come back up later.
I think it might even been in that first because we meet Zoro pretty early on. So
yeah. So it is.
And see his flashback. So it might even be as far back as episode 2.
Yeah, so it's crazy how even even if Zoro himself, I don't actually know if it's confirmed one way or another, but that there is sort of that, like, there's that Wano lineage either way, you know, certainly in terms of swordsman and sword skills.
Right.
That like there are aspects of this that feel intended from the start.
Yeah, there are, and I like that it is this more traditional. Like, why is this thing that seems Japanese and sort of okay, sure, whatever, in the middle of
right, like way out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah,
it's like whatever in the beginning because you don't have context for the world, but once you get the context, like, wait a second, why is this Wano based swordsmanship out in East Blue? And there's your explanation.
Well, one thing I find really curious, just as a quick aside, is if Wano is such a closed off country, it does kind of the things that are specifically Japanese in the world of One Piece, like the justice kanji they use on the marine jackets, and the way that a lot of like Marineford and New Marineford, that their architecture is very Japanese. It makes me wonder, like, how, like, what aspects of the culture kind of get out and spread across the One Piece world.
That is true. Wano is definitely an influential country that,
for whatever reason, certainly a very important one. Yeah. That's also, I mean, we talked about that already, but yeah, just sort of the idea of them being closed off, or that they were open and were now closed and now need to open again, seemingly in time with this whole Joy Boy thing, is also very interesting, isn't it?
Yes, it is. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on to chapter 969. Good God.
Yep.
Fool of a Lord, and Gotti versus the Navy does not go well.
Yeah. Ooh, poor Gotti.
Yep. Taken out by a rapper. That's what the Marine looks like to me. It's just like punk kid rapper. Oh gosh, but we get into the chapter itself, and Oden is going for Orochi's head, and the memory of Toki saying, "If you get angry over something trivial like this, the enemy will strike back again." And he goes for the attack, goes to cut him, and then nothing happens because all of a sudden we see two fingers crossed like this.
Oh.
I did not pick up one when I
Yep.
first saw that. I just like, well, that's weird. Why are they focusing on the old man doing that? And just see the barrier. It's like, oh my God.
We got another one.
The slash got across the barrier, into the door, gone, and Orochi is safe. He's like, what was that? What is this? What's up with the force field? There's a glass that doesn't seem to be. Get out of there, Orochi. And so we had seen the old man before next to the fortune teller woman, and didn't really comment on him because he just didn't seem to have a purpose at the point. Yeah. No, he has a purpose. This is a man that has the barrier fruit. And this is Kurozumi Semimaru, which I'm going to just assume grandfather of Orochi.
Yeah, maybe.
They don't
not actually
say
sure.
anything about that, but he's a Kurozumi, and he wanted to put Orochi in power, so it would make sense. But I also like that we have our explanation for not how the devil fruit escaped, so who knows how the devil fruit works. Maybe just traveled until it found another fruit that it applies to it, whatever. But the reason that these two powers were eventually found by Bon Clay and Bartolomeo is just because these two died of old age.
yeah, honestly.
That's all it could be at this point. They just died of old age.
Yeah, and again, I feel like that's the interesting part about having flashbacks this far back is that you can't just have characters like, oh yeah, this was the previous user of said devil fruit.
I feel like if I had to guess the differences in terms of the barrier fruit, Semimaru seems to be less creative with his force fields than, obviously we only have this one instance. But I would guess less creative but stronger shields themselves, because I don't remember Bartolomeo's shields holding up that well.
Oh, I feel like they held up pretty well, but I feel like it took stamina out of him.
True,
and that he could only extend it, and he was making all these like weird shapes out of it, which he definitely kind of like pushed it to its limits. Yeah.
Meanwhile, this is like this Semimaru is somehow holding off Oden, who rode with Roger. Yes. He is strong, and yet
the barrier can stop it. Yeah. Also, just to make sure, because I looked this up, and so we have the old hag that we met last week, who's Kurozumi Higurashi, which you might know from the famous visual novel. Both Higurashi and Semi are both types of cicadas.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know that has any bearing on their characters.
Yeah, not really. But I knew I was like, because I saw Higurashi and I was like, that's a type of. I was like, that's a bug. And then I knew in the back of my head, I was like, Semi is also a bug. I'm pretty sure. I was like, okay, they're both cicadas.
Yeah. So. Yep. They block it, and of course, the Kurozumi Higurashi is just like, that's right. If you were a pirate, you should be quite aware of the supernatural powers conferred by devil fruit. It's like, oh, you have powers then. It's like, that's right. As they say here, we are sorcery users. And Orochi, of course, gets his confidence back. If this is a problem anger and violence could solve, Oden, then all the daimyos of Wano would have done it already. But nobody can kill me. And it's just like, I will say one thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be emphasized as we go through here. These chapters succeed in making you despise Orochi. Probably far more than... I think I hate Orochi far more than Kaido.
Yeah, because I think Kaido's just kind of a tool, right? Like, he's just kind of a means to an end, especially for Orochi. But like Orochi's the one who's got like he's got the real just like villainy. He's got the real just like just disgusting little like worm of a man. But I do appreciate we've seen it in the present day of just like how deep his paranoia and madness goes. And you can already kind of understand, like, oh, he's got somebody with the barrier fruit. Oh, he's got, somebody with the clone fruit. Like, these are also devil fruits that really help in like supporting his paranoia and kind of his like espionage.
Yeah,
like they're really in these contexts very kind of underhanded, devil fruits.
Oh man. But then we see outside the people cheering. He's like, sure, I'm sure, he'll get rid of, Orochi, and he'll kick out Kaido too. He'll do great. And they're just cheering for him. And Oden's just trying to find answers. Like, I don't know why it happened, but I hear my father pushed for you to be the Shogun's proxy, but only until I came back. So give up the Shogun seat to me right now. I had no intention of being the man in charge, but I know that I can do better for this country than you. And he's like, there's a twist. That statement did not actually contain the Shogun's authority. And Higurashi transforms into his father. It's like, good to see you back, Oden. It's like, wait, how are you alive? And she transforms back. Again, not using the face touch thing. It's interesting shift. What the daimyos and all those fools believed in was a person in disguise with the power of the clone fruit. It was her all along, so the entire country believed it, and they arranged for me to take the Shogun's throne. In other words, I'm under no obligation to cede control to you. At this point, nobody can possibly know that the real Sukiyaki was thinking, what the real Sukiyaki was thinking. So what did you do to my father? Did he actually die of illness? And you get no answer. He just has a shade over his eyes. Like, yeah, he killed him. He straight up killed him.
Oh, boy.
And then this is the heartbreaking part. As the crowds looked up at the castle and cheering the return of the Kozuki clan, poisoned arrows struck here and there as though from nowhere. 2 people collapsed, spitting up blood. They both fell ill. They both fell blind.
Wow.
As the townspeople fled indoors in a state of panic, they witnessed amid the clouds rolling in the sight of an enormous dragon floating over the capital. So there's Kaido ready to have support. He grew from wild child to daimyo of Kuri, then went to sea and traveled among the world's greatest pirates, returning many times stronger than when he left. Kozuki Oden returned, invincible and triumphant. In him, the people saw a savior who could rescue them from a cruel tyrant. But within just a few hours, Kozuki Oden was seen stripped down to his loincloth outside the Shogun Orochi's palace and dancing like a fool.
Yeah,
and that is
buck naked.
That is so heart-wrenching.
I really think what really hit me this time as we're going through these pages again is like how much like Oda chooses to portray like the people of Wano have so much hope and have lost so much, and you could understand why in the present day story why everybody's like, no, there's no hope. Like this, like it'll never work out this time because they've been burned so many times before. And that their one hope, here in Kozuki Oden is like, here he is just like, prancing, in the buff. And it's just like, well, okay, any hope we had is that like, this is like our first instance of believing in something and then just being just like crushed. Yeah.
Especially because you have, 4 years under, Orochi, really 5 at this point. 5 years under Orochi, and things have gotten bad already, but not irreversible. And so that you have that hope to come in with Oden and make a change, finally fix it, and to see him reduced to this, and God, the look of horror on everybody is just gut wrenching. And
it really is.
Just seeing like. The underlings, the Kaido, the underlings of Kaido and Orochi laughing, it's like whatever. It's just like I've seen those type of guys laugh so many times before. But the way he draws Orochi laughing, just oh God, I want to throttle him so much.
It's vindictive.
Oh yeah, you want to see him.
He
cut
gets
down.
off on it. Yeah,
God, I wish. Zoro, I am okay with most characters, like most villains surviving. In One Piece, it's like they get beat down, their dreams are tossed, all that stuff. I want Orochi dead.
After this, yeah, you kind of do. And like I feel like there's no redemption for this, right? Like I feel like there's no and really no kind of use for him outside of this. Like you could see an eventuality where like, oh yeah, Kaido, like he could be beaten and survive, and I think like he certainly has his own place in these things, but I feel like he is so much more just kind of an accessory. Like he's just the brawn, right? Like he
is the wall that you got to get
the muscle.
past.
He's the muscle to this, but Orochi is like he's the one behind all of the like political machinations. And not only that, but he is just sliming and worming his way, up. Like we see his rise to power, his rise to shogun, and it's all unearned, right? It's all just trickery.
And just the sheer fact that it just from the very moment just borrowing money and never returning it, just that simple act of just how rough, just how despicable, just not a good guy. It's, I guess, the best way to put it. It's just like there's something just inherently wrong with him, and I don't like. It's one of those things, like, we've had despicable characters before. Just look at Wapple. Look at blanking his name, of the head of CP9, now ZP0.
Lucci.
No, not Lucci.
Spandam? Yeah,
Spandam. That's it. You have those characters who are despicable in their own ways, but yet somehow this feels like it goes so much further, because
I really do.
Like, Spandam was weak as well. He's not strong.
Yeah, it was kind of the reverse situation, right? Or like he was the boss, but he was not really in the action at all. Like, he was not really. He was just some government goon, right? I really feel like the way that this story has woven in of, like, Orochi is like the sniveling little just like germ ball, but is sort of like he's got the political power and Kaido's got like the physical strength, and the way that these two systems are kind of like, kind of intertwined. I think really do just
you know what this is?
Worst. But
this is a miniaturized version of the freaking Celestial Dragons.
Yeah. 100%. Like it is kind of like it's the ill-gotten gains, right? It's the, they don't deserve an inch of the things that they have, and that they're just so, they're petty,
blatant,
they're lazy,
it,
like it is. It's just like the Celestial Dragons at the end of the day. Which
it's amazing to me.
Not
like,
unintentional, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely not. Oda's very good at like having smaller versions of things to build up to showcase. Like, you got to show it at a local level before you go to the wide level, just to have it in your head. This is what it was like. Oda knows how to build up the stakes, because one, it just naturally builds up. Makes it more exciting to have it build up that naturally like that. But also just you can relate to it.
And I think it keeps kind of the reader on the same page of like, okay, here's this is like the worst version of the thing that you've already seen.
Man. Oh God. But yeah, the people's hopes were betrayed. Their disappointment eventually turned to anger. It's a foolish lord of curry. That's Kozuki Oden. They made a whole song about it. His fear of snakes gives him the blues. And if you laugh, you lose. And from that point on, Oden appeared in the capital once a week to caper about in front of the castle for scraps, whether rainy or windy or snowy. There he was. And oh God, we go back to the Curry Castle, and it's just like, Oden, tell us the truth.
Yeah, they're begging him to stop.
And he's just like, I dance in the buff every week and I receive my money. That's my job. It's like, what did you speak about? What is going on? Even the people of Curry who believed in you the longest have grown sick of this. And nobody respects him.
Yeah.
Every bit of respect.
And you can kind of see the propaganda, right, that we heard from the we were seeing with the kids, I think way back in Act 1, of just like, how terrible Kozuki Oden was, and that, thank God for Shogun Orochi. I feel like you're kind of seeing the start of that here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. After a year of this, which was 24 years before today, which is, God, that's so weird to
think about.
Wait, so that would mean there's still another 4 years until they get sent into until it all goes down. They get sent to the future. Good God.
Yeah. Yes.
The timeline for this is wild.
It really, like, I feel like this flashback just spans such a long period of time.
But yeah, Oden received a newspaper from abroad, courtesy of Shogun Orochi. He ran up and down the beach wailing, then laughing, then wailing again. The world was buzzing over the public execution of the King of the Pirates, Gold Roger, and the allure of the vast fortune he'd left behind, the One Piece. Sent out all kinds of people into to the sea on a treasure hunt. It was the start of the great age of piracy. And that That's the big thing I had. It was like, wait a second. He was supposed to die so soon.
Right. Yeah, and that was like
he lasted a year when he was supposed to be dead the year before. So he spent that year to find a girl and have Ace. It seems to be
yeah. Hey, maybe that Crocus's medicine worked more
wonders.
effectively. I do also think it could be possible that it's an old newspaper. Could
be.
News doesn't travel in or out of Wano very easily. I could believe that too. But I could also believe that Roger lasted way longer than a year.
I could see Kaido getting the paper, him passing it to Orochi, and Orochi deciding to show it.
There, take that.
Yeah, just to further kill his pride. But the funny thing is that not Orochi, but that Oden is like, it doesn't impress him. It's just like, you're awesome. Because he knows the story.
It reminded me. I went back to that chapter. Those chapters where the Straw Hats were talking to Rayleigh, about sort of learning a little bit more about Roger, and he says something very similar of like, I never laughed as much that day, and I never cried as much that day. The day
laughing part is so interesting.
Laughing makes it's such a. It hits different now, right? Knowing about Laugh Tale and knowing about what Roger saw. I also think it kind of changes. I feel like it adds an extra spice of storytelling to the Smile Fruits, right? Because there's the sort of this difference between like laughing from your gut, right? Like laughing from your heart versus like kind of being like forcing a laugh or putting on airs, right?
Yeah.
And so I think there's gonna be a lot about the story that is like about laughing genuinely. I think putting those up as contrasts is very good.
I am so excited to get back into Wano proper at this point
right.
to see what happens after all these revelations. Obviously, it feels, well, we'll get into it. There's still a lot to go. But
yeah.
I love how we're still addressing other things. In the second year since Oden's return, a battle broke out in Ringo between the Gecko Pirates and the Animal Kingdom Pirates. So we reference Moria.
Oh yeah, Moria was here. Yeah, and that's how we got Ryuba's corpse, and then you got Shusui. Yeah, that's just a hilarious funny. Little aside.
Also, Moria's looking pretty. Honestly, that's the coolest Moria's ever looked.
He has a normal neck.
I know, right? Weird.
What happened? The biker jacket's a good look. Yeah. Kaido's got that like dress shirt almost. Yeah. Yeah, the idea that even way back when we had established that Moria has this kind of beef with Kaido is pretty funny.
It is pretty funny.
Wow.
But all throughout, Oden danced, and all who associated with Curry's foolish lord were painted with the same brush. There was the family of the laughingstock, and I love how he's like playing with the kids, and he looks at Toki. He's like, "Do you want a divorce?" It's like, is that a joke? Or are you trying to make me mad? It's like they're sticking with him.
Toki is holding down the fort. She's the most patient woman in the world. But I guess if you're like 800 years old, I guess that would make sense.
I guess so. You just have this man in front of you who's like, yeah, I'll join you with a bunch of pirates for 4 years and hold down the fort in your home country for a year and stick with you while you're a laughingstock for God knows how many more years after that. Like they have the strangest marriage. So like what she's putting up with.
Hey, she could bounce at any point if she was not feeling it. Like she could just be like, all right, bye.
Yeah, and the vassals still believe in him because like, we've been familiar with your naked dancing for years and years, Oden. It's nothing new.
Wow.
And then of course there's those few to whom he owed a personal debt, such as Yasue, and he might be a fool, but calling him a lord is more than he deserves. And of course Hyo is like it's trying to keep him away, and here comes Hyo's wife, which we didn't know about. Hyo had a wife. Has a wife.
Yeah, she's looking good.
Yeah. It's like, hey, Oden's here. He's like, the damned Orochi just won't give up. I'd never work for a man like him. It's like, don't put yourself in danger. Mm-hmm. It's like, I was just telling him that your dancing's gotten so much better. It's like, please, ma'am, spare me. 3 years more of this second dance. So basically, I think we're at in the 5th year where nothing's changed. He's still doing it. And in the 5th year, Orochi finally made his move on Curry. So 5 years, Orochi left Curry alone, which we actually see why that is, which is so all the more gut wrenching too was why he waited 5 years to even attempt to take Curry. But still, just at this point, it's like that was so. Be 19 years before today. Technically, I guess 20 if we bounce around a little bit. So yeah, this is the moment. And he's just like, I'm going to build factories here. So help me, Oden. And Oden asks him, what are the ships? You know, with Kaido. He's like, what do you mean? And that sets him off. Wano will be a weapons producer. And as for Hyogoro, he's beyond my means of control. So I gave him to Kaido. He'll probably be dead before long. And it's like, wait, what? His old woman clung to him and wouldn't let go, so they shot her dead. So this nice woman who saw for like 3 panels.
Yeah.
He's like, Hyo's wife shot dead. It's like, damn it, Oda.
Yeah. And that's, you see that face on Oden, and it's just like, oh, you done did it now.
Yeah. And you just get this thing was like the man who controlled the underworld from the flower capital, Hyogoro the Flower, was taken prisoner when his followers fought back. A total of 16 died, including Hyogoro's wife. As his family and vassals had largely assumed, the great samurai had been shouldering some terrible burden all alone for 5 long years, and this was the last straw of his perseverance. Great big tears spilled from his eyes as the emotions he'd held back came flooding out all at once. And he's like, nah, time to strike down Kaido.
That's it.
It's time to fight. And I don't think we actually learn what the stipulations were.
No, I don't think
he held back. So it's either a threat against his family or Orochi, because he asked about ships. So I'm wondering if asking if he get his people out and leave Wano to him, or if he thought that Orochi might open up Wano, like he wanted.
I hadn't thought of that, but yeah, I feel like there's not enough information to go on.
Not really, but I do wonder if like him wanting to open up is to pave the way for the Joy Boy. That
might also be part of his plan.
Yeah. But
that could make
hearing
sense.
This just abject cruelty, he's like, no, it's time. And all the others are like, yeah, we've been waiting
for this. Yeah, let's do it. Enough of this.
And God, it's a cool shot.
It really is. I feel like this is like the build up to like the samurai movie money shot that Oda has been wanting to do.
This feels like maybe an homage to Seven Samurai. So yeah. Now gather round and you shall bear witness to the once-in-a-lifetime uproar caused by Kozuki Oden, the man for whom all of Wano wept. With him stood 9 men, made samurai through his patronage. The hour was sunset, the sun crimson red. It shone like flames upon these men heading into battle, and the katanas they wore at their waists burned just as brightly with life. Afterward, in reference to these red scabbards and in honor of their strength and loyalty, people called them the Akazaya 9. That's our first look at Denjiro as an adult. I just realized. I didn't pay attention to that. So yeah, basically looks the same.
He was gone. Now he's back.
Yeah, basically looks like how you'd imagine. But their foe was Kaido. They paid no heed to no other. The story of their march is a thing of the past, sadly, and it ends in the public execution of Kozuki Oden. And now, dear audience, let not your eyelids blink, lest you miss a single moment of what shall be known as the Hour of Legends. God, the way Oda sets this up, especially because it's been like a play this entire time, like the acts and everything, is like, God.
It's like a it really is setting it up like a play, and knowing and then setting this up as like, yes, this is the end of Kozuki Oden. This is him going into his final battle basically, and even if we don't quite know everything, we kind of know where this is all going, with all of the other Akazaya 9. So
yeah, we're leading to the events that lead into where we're at now. So
yeah, very much so. And I feel like it really is good at selling it. Just like, we have just about had enough.
We are done.
Yeah. Again, it is really fascinating just how much Kaido is kind of a non-factor in these. Of just he's there. He's the main issue you have to worry about. But yeah. Oh
man, we do have another SPS. This one first up is hey Oda, you modeled Shinobu after Jane, didn't you? And obviously we'll get into that. Oda responds, you thought so? Because yes, I thought that as well. In reality, I originally modeled, I don't know who Jane is.
Jane, yeah.
I have no idea. There's a picture here. You might recognize the character. Let me grab it real quick for you.
Let me see.
From some manga bits. Here you go. While I continue reading this.
Not at all.
Because yes, I thought that as well. And in reality, I originally modeled her on the character of the comedian Naomi Watanabe-san, who, she's a plus-size comedian.
Okay.
She rose to fame in 2008 for her imitation of Beyonce, after which she was given the title The Japanese Beyonce. Look up this woman, Naomi Watanabe. She looks pretty great.
All right.
She does impersonations of popular artists in Japanese culture, among which are imitation of Beyonce singing Dreamgirls and Crazy in Love. So,
oh, wow.
it's pretty good.
Huh.
Honestly, she has the picture they have is on Wikipedia is from 2010. But she has like one hair done, and you could look at Shinobu's pigtails and be like, yeah, no, that fits.
Yeah, yeah. I kind of see
it.
But
I originally modeled her on the character of the comedian Naomi Watanabe-san, who I've always been amazed by. However, midway into designing her, I realized she looked like the trademark character for my mentor, Masaya Tokuhiro's Jungle King Tar-chan manga. Jane. And since the whole concept of Shinobu was someone who used to be pretty in her youth, I think that's why I was influenced by her. That's what I came to mind as I was designing Shinobu. Okay, so the character of the original manga panel is what I showed you. It's from this Jungle King Tar-chan, which I believe it's a young man who was raised in the African savannah by a chimpanzee Etakichi, and his adventures protecting his home, his wife Jane, and his animal friends. And if you look at the Wikipedia for it, for Jungle King Tar-chan, his wife, he has this buff, ripped man, all six-pack and whatnot, hanging out with a hippo, doing the classic Tarzan, and his wife is next to him, and it's, she looks like Shinobu in the present. With the rosy cheeks and the bigger frame.
Yeah.
And so, of course, they have flashbacks, which is the other picture I showed you, where she's young and hot. So that's the joke with Shinobu.
Incredible.
So I have never heard of that manga before. Apparently, it ran from 88 to 90. So it's only a 7-volume manga.
Wow. Apparently, it got an anime in 93. That's as old as I am.
That's funny because his mentor is like, I'm looking at Masaya Tokuhiro, and I don't recognize any of his big works. The only one that actually has a Wikipedia page is Jungle King Tar-chan, which is, as it points out, is a bizarre take on Edgar Rice Burroughs' Tarzan.
It's pretty crazy. But the fact that he was still, like, there's some 2010, 2013, 2015.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's still drawing manga, which is pretty crazy.
Pretty impressive. Oh, boy. Next question. We know Kawamatsu is not a kappa, but a fishman. But what type of fishman is he?
Well, I want to know this.
He's a tiger puffer fishman. However, since he insists on being called kappa, please do so.
Huh.
I love how Wano has a through line of, this is what I identify as, please call me this.
Right?
We have it with Izo. We're going to have it in the future. And we have it with Kawamatsu. That's pretty amazing. I thought it was only the one
Wano
character.
really
is
the arc
three.
of just identity and gender and just kind of in a way that's like kind of in the background, right? Like it's not really essential to the plot or anything like that. It's just like, no, this character just is what they are, and there's not really any kind of question about it.
Yeah. Finally, I just sent you another picture. Somebody wanted to see the anthropomorphized version of Brook's blade, the Soul Solid. Like with Mahawk's blade, a female would be preferable. I feel like Brook would be happy if it were female as well. And so there it is. And it goes, oh, a female, huh? Understood. And it's just a ugly old woman.
Yeah, which is like with like her hair on fire. It's kind of cool, actually.
They had her hair on fire, and her, like the ghostly tail goes into a trombone.
I'm willing to say it's the least cursed of these that we've seen so far.
I'd agree with that. So, all right. Time for our final chapter of the set after 2 hours of recording.
All right.
I think we just broke our record, Brandon.
Yeah,
we're not quite there yet, but I think it's going to handily happen.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Chapter 970, Oden versus Kaido. And what's happening? Well, Beijing and Vito are immobilized because of these kissers. Men, women, whatever. They're all being kissed.
Wow. Yeah. Speaking of progressive.
This is an insane title chapter story.
It's gotten very weird very fast.
Yes, it has. We've kind of lost the plot of the search for Lola, but it also like that's usually what happens. It'll come around.
Very much so.
But we get into the chapter itself, and I love this just the setting.
You got the shamisen. And hey, there's the same old lady. It looks like, although can it be since this is 20 years ago in that first panel? The same one who was training Robin to be a geisha.
Maybe this is a family of them. It's like daughter, mother, grandmother, and so the mother becomes the grandmother by the time 20 years pass.
I could believe that. That either way, that's incredible.
Yeah. Then we got the slow walk for Oden. We got Toki dressing up Hiyori and Momonosuke. We got Yasuye riding in, wondering what's going on. They look at the flower capital, and it's snowing, and he's like, this is not what I expected. Why are you so thoroughly prepared? How did you know? I was on my way to cut off your head as you sat on that empty island drinking yourself to sleep. I wasn't expecting a battle of numbers. This is the interesting part because it's not the first time this has happened. I think this will lead directly into what happened to Luffy and the others, because Kaido just says, perhaps I have a spy in your castle. I just had my mansion built. I'd rather not have it used as a battleground. So I came out to meet you instead. And then it's like, then it was all a lie, wasn't it, Kaido? That's right, all lies. I sensed that we were at a disadvantage then. After your return, you had joined force. If you had joined forces with Hyogoro, we would have had to deal with all the samurai and yakuza of Wano together. We had fewer numbers then. It would have been a difficult battle, especially if you lived up to your fearsome reputation as a madman who would not blink at any sacrifice. Instead, you chose a method that would not hurt anyone. Newgate and Roger were like that too, mighty pirates but soft in their way. And you are one of them, the fool who chose to dance, stripped to your loincloth, mocked by all. You have none of the old Kozuki dignity. And that's the killer of it. If he had just gone for it, he could have stopped it. And that's why they waited 5 years to try to take Curry, because now they have the numbers to stop them.
That is true. And they were that intimidated and knew that that Oden right was going to be that much of a threat. That they couldn't move on him until the time was right.
Yeah, and then made a point of removing Hyo before anything else happened.
Yeah. So that is something it's not ever, I feel like, not an explicit part of Kaido's character, but like he is shrewd in his own way, right? Like he is a meathead, but like he's not dumb. And certainly, employs tactics and understands his enemy.
I am very curious about this aspect of him learning their plan, because it reminds me of Big Mom's information network. Mm-hmm. Do they both came from the Rocks Pirates? Do they somehow both have access to the same information network somehow that they're getting?
Or at least kind of understand like they play by similar rules.
Yeah, something like that. It has me like, I really can't even hazard a guess of what the answer is to how they're figuring out, because I don't think they have a traitor in their midst. That doesn't make any sense to me. There's
right or that loyal. Yeah, it definitely, like, it's one thing for like the present day, but to, I think, sort of imply it here in the here in the flashback, like is this sort of connected? Is it not? Are these two separate incidents?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. time for the big battle. And yeah, they start ripping through them. It's like, follow Lord Oden in the battle. And all the pirates are fighting. It was like, wait, this is what samurai are like? Oh God, they're so tough.
Yeah, I love how they got their tongues out. They're all ready for battle. And Oden just goes in, just blows them all away. He's like, we have numbers, and they're just, just getting ran through completely.
I love Kiku's fierce look, though.
Yeah,
hers is the best. Like the fierce look of Kiku is amazing.
Agreed. Yeah, nothing more to add, but I agree.
Sure, it's just all teeth. But Lord Yasue learns about this and well, actually shows up in Curry's. Like, Oden sent a messenger to me by horse. He said that his wife and children would be in danger, and he asked me to see to you. So, and he's basically meeting Momonosuke. Kind of, almost seems like he's already 8. Oh my gosh! I just missed. I missed this the first time I read it. Hiyori's doing a drop kick to Momonosuke.
Oh yes, I missed that too. So we established that way back when. So
yeah,
there's that tomboy side to her.
That's so perfect.
Yes,
but Yasue lays it out. It's like, if we must be prepared for the worst. If Oden loses this battle, then this country is lost. And God. But the sniper's getting ready to take out Oden, and when somebody takes out the sniper with a kunai, turns out, hey, here's Shinobu. I was wondering where she's been this entire. Like,
yeah,
where does she
and yes, she's young and hot. Imagine that.
Funny that. But yeah, she's like, you may not remember me, but I served back in the days of Shogun Sukiyaki, and I hope you don't mind. I'm gonna join your side, and we get to even see like.
She was little
Shinobu, like, oh, she's cute. So he does remember. It's like, I served at the castle, believing that Kozuki was ruler once again, but Fukurokuju and the Ninja Legion chose to switch allegiance to Orochi. So it's like, she's the only one of that ninja clan that actually stuck true to Oden. So
yeah,
dreamed of one day serving you, and I can no longer stay in the palace. So. I do not blame any who would lose faith in a fool of a lord. So I don't know if he's speaking of himself or of Orochi in that case.
Oh, fool of a lord is basically become his like title. So he's referring to himself. Yeah, and as a fun fact, actually, because I remember Stephen Paul flexing about this. The fool of a lord, that wording actually came up for the first time in a flashback during Zou, where we saw like a shaded out Kaido referring to Oden, who he hadn't met by then, talking to Momonosuke, saying, "Your father is a fool of a lord." Not knowing that it would kind of come up again, but it ended up being the right call.
Blessing when that sort of stuff happens.
Yep.
So, yep. Raizo's all in. It's like, we walk a path of thorns, Shinobu. I will join you. And so now we have 11 on one side. 11 samurai ventured into battle. So thanks to Shinobu, we have 11 people against this entire army of Kaido.
1,000 pirates,
which includes, oh God, some of them are very dangerous. There's Queen.
Yeah,
there's
and King. Yep.
Raizo's not able to take King. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But the battle lasted longer than expected as Kozuki Oden's strength surpassed the enemy's imagination. And this is after him dancing in the cold for 5 years. He's still this strong. So he's fighting Kaido's dragon form, uses his two-sword style, and is able to use Paradise Totsuka to get that scar into Kaido's chest.
And that's where the scar comes from.
That's good.
That's very, very good. And that's when you think like, oh, like he's actually, and I feel like based on everything we've seen so far, like, oh yeah, Oden could totally take Kaido, right? And you even see like in this dragon form, he's like crashing into the ground and stuff. He's ready to do the killing blow. Never come back to Wano. But then of course, one of the pirates has poor Momonosuke held hostage, which at first you think like, that doesn't make any sense, but it's just enough to get him distracted and bonked. And then, of course, we see that Momonosuke turn into Higurashi. It was all and then all it took was that split-second hesitation, right?
Yep. To bash him to the ground, distract Kinemon and Ashura, so they get stabbed by King and whatnot. And yeah, it's that was it. It's like how did Kaido beat him? The freaking clone fruit, which is
the clone fruit and the trickery of the Kurozumi clan, which I feel like is just sort of the core at all of the story is just how badly they want revenge.
Yeah. Oh God. But yeah, the battle is over. And the fighting was so fierce that the fires that burned Udon's thick forest did not abate until the rains arrived a full 5 days later. The daimyo of Kuri, Kosuke Oden, and his 9 followers were imprisoned in the flower capital to await their punishment for the crime of rebellion against the shogun. Unaware of the reason behind this act, the populace's reaction was cold. So they didn't even know the battle took place.
Yeah.
It's like, well, after what a disappointing was, a little late, don't you think?
Yeah, and of course, the public would react this way. Like they had, basically that he was their only hope, and 5 years. Like there was 5 years of him, dancing naked in the Capitol. So
yeah,
like it really is just kind of one of the more subtle things about this. But the way that the public just kind of turns on him, I think is just one of the more tragic aspects of this.
For sure. And we see Shinobu walking through the flower capital, and the people are talking. It's like, oh, does it mean we won't get to see his naked dance every week? That's the only downside. And then we see her flashing back to into the battle where she's captured along with him. He's like, I don't know her. She's no vassal of mine. Are you after my life? Who are you? Begone, Kunoichi. So he saved her life.
He saved her. Yep. And so that I feel like that is also establishing why Shinobu cares so much about Oden, because she's not part of the Akazaya 9, right? But was still saved by him in the end. Yeah,
and she obviously already respected him, so it's a big deal for her. It's why it matters so much. And oh God, the sentence for the samurai has been decided. And God, these flashes to other characters, like, when is father coming home? I made a paper balloon. It's like, oh, it will be so lovely for when he returns. And you see Kinemon's wife just folding a paper crane, and then Yasue looking out into the rain. And we learned that in the public square, 3 days hence, the 10 wicked samurai are sentenced to be boiled to death.
Which, the flipping the catchphrase on its head,
doesn't happen because none of them survive.
Yeah. But Oden being boiled to death is just dramatic irony at its finest.
Yeah, that's definitely an Orochi thing that he was just
yeah. Like I said, he gets off on it.
Oh yeah, and I mean,
what a set, right? What can you say?
Incredible set. So much lore, so much stuff to talk about. Just the build up to all this. Like, Oden's a character that gets talked about so much, and you're like, okay, cool, whatever. It's right. Interesting. It doesn't connect, but for this flashback, it really does connect you with him. And I'm wondering if the tears will come when his end finally does arrive, and when we see the transport to the future and what might happen to Toki and all that, where she refuses to jump into the future along with them. So curious about that. If I had to guess, the flashback will be over within the next 5 chapters.
That seems reasonable. Which God, we've had basically 2 full weeks of this.
Yeah,
it is a chunky one.
So,
oh man,
it's. What more can we say? We've talked about just about every little aspect of this, of how, again, the timeline that Oda had to set up to get all of this done. It's freaking incredible.
Yeah. And not only that, like that we spent so much time building up, Kosuke Oden, building up his young life, his kind of his rise to being a daimyo and stuff like that. And then to take this huge swerve into, the Whitebeard stuff, the Roger stuff, the One Piece itself, to then kind of naturally weave that back into the story of Wano and how we kind of got from here to where we are in the present day. Like the scope and scale and how much story that this one flashback covers, I think is truly commendable. I think there's, I would say there's nothing like it, but it's more like this is kind of the baseline. I feel like now.
Crazy.
This is sort of the expectation.
And the crazy thing to me is that, we've seen Oden be so respected over the years, and we see why. You can absolutely see it. But the funny thing is that he never became shogun.
Right.
Which actually does make a lot of sense, because if he would become shogun, those borders would be open.
That is also true.
Which is funny. He never thought of doing that.
Yeah, boy, that also. I have other things to say about that. of the opening the borders and the whole Joy Boy thing, which I feel like, again, we talked about it, but it's like, what is Joy Boy? If it means that if he is somebody who left the One Piece treasure where it was somebody who left a poneglyph as an apology in Fishman Island. It's presumably like a person, who lived and died.
You could almost presume that Joy Boy is the one who spread the poneglyphs all over the world.
Oh,
I didn't think about that until this very moment. It's one of those things, yeah.
Well, there's something there. There's something there.
Yeah, I can. Oh man,
just think to yourself how the poneglyphs, as massive as they are, got spread all over the world. That is not a particularly easy feat. We'll talk about that at some point.
It is not. Oh my god.
There's a reason for that.
We're not quite done yet. We do have one final SPS.
One more SPS.
Only one question, though.
All right.
So the question is, who is this young man? Please tell me his name. And it's just sort of a handsome guy with a ponytail as part of Roger's crew.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, sure. Hold on. I got to send you. There's a lot of ones. I would recommend looking up volume 96 of the SPS on the One Piece wiki. If you want to see what we're looking at, because I've had to send a lot of images to Brandon tonight. So Oda responds, sure, the one that was part of the Rogers Pirates, right? There was a massive amount of questions I got regarding the members of the Roger Pirates, and while I may only have rough sketches for the most important members of the crew, allow me to showcase them on this page and 154. You don't have to remember these if you don't want to. And the names are labeled in the version they have, but they're not translated anywhere. So I couldn't tell you any of the names of these characters. And we see Roger, we see Rayleigh, we see Crocus. We see a guy with a massive nose. We see a fish man. We see a guy chomping on a cigar. We see the guy that has the ponytail. We see Shanks and Buggy.
There's Scopper Gabon. That's his full name. The guy with the two axes.
Oh yeah, where is the two axe guy?
Bottom. He to the right of Crocus.
Oh, I didn't recognize him because I didn't see the axes right away. They were plugging into it. So, yeah, there's only really 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 7 pirates we don't know on Roger's crew from this lineup. So yeah. Excuse me. The rest of them are showcased after chapter 972. So
all right. I guess
that one.
We'll see the rest of them.
There's the SPS there. You can see them there, but it's not going to matter at that point. It's just here's the designs for the rest of the crew. So
it's cool that he has the. I didn't think we'd ever get names for half of those folks, and I was wondering. I for the longest time I didn't know that like the name Scopper Gabon was in the manga proper. I was like, where are people getting this guy from? I was like, oh, okay. Oden named him himself. So that's cool.
So yeah, I do like that the one. There's one guy on the second page. We won't be talking about this SPS because it's just the more of these images. The guy on the bottom right of the second page, just looks like a fat Popeye.
He does.
It's the hat in the pipe.
Yeah.
But
the guy to the left of him kind of looks like Drake for some reason.
A little bit. Drake mixed with a little bit of Kid.
Yeah.
But yeah. But that I believe is all we wanted to say about chapters 966 to 970 of One Piece. Thank you so much for listening, and you can find more of my ramblings and stream VODs over at BitNerd Games on YouTube or simply BitNerd on BlueSky. And Brandon, where can everyone find you?
I am Brandon Bovia on BlueSky, talking about anime, manga, games in my job, and that's it. Wow. Oh man, what a set! Like I said, I've been waiting for this one. 967 is maybe, I think it might actually be my favorite One Piece chapter of all time. Thinking back on it,
hard to see why.
it really just is like that is a chapter that is like, that is why I read this manga.
I can only imagine the fandom at the time.
You don't get feelings like that in any other series, and I adore it. And also, because we will be covering Stampede next week, right?
Yes.
So I think so. So week after that, we will be hitting less than 200 chapters to go, because the manga is at 1172, I think.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah. So we're after Stampede, we'll be. That's another milestone, you know. Just less than 200 chapters to go. So close to getting caught up.
Oh my god, that's so weird.
Yeah. Can't wait. God. Can't wait to presumably wrap up this flashback after that, and just get on to it. Wano, like I said, after that, I'm pretty sure it's like full steam ahead.
It kind of has to be at this point.
Yeah.
There's so much. Oh,
yeah.
One other prediction before we go.
Let's go.
To say this, and I almost forgot it. Eventually, have no idea when, but eventually, we'll get a flashback of Roger's final year.
Oh,
like after he left the ship, what did Roger get up to? I think we'll get a flashback of that.
I feel like a Roger solo story could be like that's like a novel. They could make a whole novel out of that.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Oh, God. But, if you'd like to help us out more, you can support the podcast over at patreon.com/Derrick Bittner. That's DerrickBitner to listen to the next episode ad-free 3 days early, as well as patron-exclusive bonus episodes. And make sure to return next time as we take a break from the manga, agonizingly enough,
yes.
If it wasn't for that spoiler, the last place when the movie happened was the perfect place to stop.
Yeah, that would have been the end of Act 2.
We had to get this.
The laugh tail thing again. Now that you know, it is insane that they put that in Stampede.
I appreciate it, but it's also this sucks to have to wait 2 weeks to read more of these chapters.
It does,
but hopefully Stampede holds up, because we'll return next time as we take a break to finally discuss One Piece Movie 14, Stampede. So until then, my friends, bye.
Remember to take life one piece at a time.
And in the face of the treasure, there was one thing I remember most. All I could hear was Roger. He just laughed